It's time to bend reality to its will. We're ready for some more MCS action. We took a break for Thanksgiving and we're back again for the final week of the season. Stewie and V15 once again on the screen as usual. It's a normal Thursday night of the week, but it's getting more and more cold outside as we enter the winter months. And V. I don't have to worry about it because I got a garage, so I never have to worry about thawing out the old car. But regardless, possibly some teams thawing out their cars if they took a break over this Thanksgiving break. But it's week 9, so you're looking at the final week of the season.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We're coming back into the cold. People are gonna have to be saying "cool under pressure" here, heading into the last week of the season, then straight into the 2-week major that we have, and then right into playoffs play-ins to get to land. So every week really counts right about now, and teams will want to make up some ground on these last 2 match days. The standings are incredibly close, especially for Rising Star. Obviously, we do have the St. Cloud Flyers, or if they avoid disaster today, they will be locking in that top seed, but places from 2nd to 8th can completely flip. So all teams will be looking to get a 2-0 here. And one of those teams that will do so and look to control their own destiny is one of the teams in our first matchup here in the Green Bay Knights against the 13th placed Omaha Buffalo.
Number 2 on the season. The Green Bay Knights rebranded from the Minnetonka Barons last season, now in a new scenario there, but they're 9-4, currently tied with the Brainerd Victory, who are in 3rd. Both have the same record, but that is it's a game differential or goal differential. It says GD. It's important regardless.
It's game.
I think it's game. Yeah. But you said they're taking on the 13th seeded Omaha Buffalo, who are a new franchise this season and haven't had the best of chances, but they've got 5 wins under their belt, looking for number 6. And if they were to do it here, this would shake things up a ton. Because, like you said, from 2nd place all the way down to 8th, similar. I guess you could say the Rangers have 6 losses, but similar scenarios. I guess you're putting yourself in a spot where, like V said, this is the most important week of the season. You've got 2 matches. Every team's got 2 matches, and we're going to be viewing the first one for Green Bay, who I would hope want to cap off their season correctly, and everyone's in the lobby, and I think they're all ready to go. I am going to throw a curveball out here. I'm not jinxing the Green Bay Knights, but I'm going to say that this is an upset for the Omaha Buffalo.
Ooh.
I'm going to say that the Omaha Buffalo are going to win this in 4 games.
Wow, that is a bold prediction. I am probably going to be going with the more conventional option, primarily because last week this Knights side did not drop a single game. They went 6-0, so they looked all but unstoppable. However, the week prior to that, one of their matches was against the first place St. Cloud Flyers, and they got swept on stream. And I think that was quite the dominating performance as we saw the true strength of that St. Cloud lineup. Though it could be night and day for each matchup. I can see Omaha pulling something out here if they really aren't prepared for this early kickoff that we have. But I'm thinking the Knights might have this, and we get our first goal off of a big pinch by us, Babes. Starting off the scoring for the Knight with the all-important dunk over Sear.
And I was looking through stats to see if either of these teams led in any statistical category. And as I change it to Season 8 and look at it, I don't see any ones on the side of the Buffalo who, I mean, I guess you could say saves per game, they are number 3. Off of that, so they got a decent defense then in the top 3 for statistics when it comes to saves per game. But for the Knights, number 2, number 3 in goal differential, a lot of 3s and 4s in theirs. Only a couple number 2s match wins. Obviously, they're going to be number 2 because they're 2nd in the league. But their offense, though, is fourth in shots, fourth in goals, fifth in shooting percentage, and number 3 in assist rank. And you saw it there on that goal by Espaves. It's not like they're not moving the ball to each other, but when they do, it's when they're at their best. And Buffalo gonna have to deal with that.
It does feel like this Knights team is very well-rounded. Every player works in sync, and they maybe aren't connecting on what pass they need, but we see one here up to the S-phase, but the just pure ability that this team has to set each other up and create the chances. We see on the stats, as you mentioned, the Omaha Buffalo do come through with the saves, have a strong defense, but that lends itself to, are they able to generate the offensive ability, offensive situations that they need to actually get ahead and actually win some of these series. That least we desired so far in this matchup is we're already seeing 3 shots, now 4 for this Knight side and only 1 on the Buffalo. So they'll need to generate the chances. We have Captain gets them floating up, gets the double tap. This ball is just sitting on the goal line, and Sharkbite will put it away.
A great play by Captain Cat, who has been great this season for the Knights. But it's been Sharkbite to step up in the past couple of weeks, playing up into this lineup, and been an important factor for them. Obviously, sweeping their last week before that break, and we'll see if they're able to get back to that form they had before the break. Because the break definitely is going to impact some teams if they didn't practice over it, if they didn't put any extra time. So. It really was an opportunity for the teams to not, who are not in the best position to rehash their whole entire situation and try and find something different. But so far, we're not seeing anything different as the Knights are pouring it on.
Yeah, just more class, more dominating pressure. This ball's just permanently on the Buffalo side, and these soft touches that Captain Cat are getting, just perfectly setting up teammates. This time he takes it over himself. Give him a 3-goal advantage, and yeah, it just feels like it's more of the same. You've mentioned, obviously, we're coming off of a break for Thanksgiving. Could see how players are affected by this, who's been able to play the game, who's been out of town, many different factors that play into this last section, and who can really carry momentum into this major coming up. Because although we mentioned how important this is, obviously with the Green Bay Knights, to get a second overall seed into the major, to make their path through that Swiss all that bit simpler. You look at Omaha, and they really need to set themselves up well, because I mean, if they have a lackluster performance and they have a tough matchup in this major, I mean, questions are going to come out if they'll even make the play-ins at all, sitting at 13th. So lots of danger there for the whole season, and even more danger for the rest of the series, because it's been all night so far, and it doesn't look like it's changing very time soon.
No, and we talked about the, obviously all the format coming together. That, of course, being a Swiss stage for the major, so you're going to run into a lot of different teams, some that you maybe haven't played in a while. So it's the ultimate test for strength of schedule, really. But yeah, for Rising Star specifically, you gotta wonder, V, if St. Cloud is as dominant as they were in that series, if they can do it again. Because I mean, from what we're seeing, it doesn't seem like Green Bay has changed much when it comes to how they are coming back to this, and Omaha just don't have an answer at the moment.
Yeah, it's just been, I mean, well, it almost goes in us off of plenty of space. There's just been no real offensive chances for Buffalo so far. I mean, shot counter at 11-2 in favor of the Knights, so the ball is constantly in the chance. But we have one for ISO, gets the backflip, puts off backboard, and sets up Irish. So maybe carry on some consolation goal to set them up. This is a great setup from ISO, by the way. This backflip touch to get power out to Irish. Very well done. Someone who's been tasked with playing quite a lot of challenger games for the Omaha Buffalo, and I guess that could be improving his skill ability playing at that higher level. But that'll definitely benefit this Buffalo team, know that they can create their offensive chances and see if they can come out in this second game with a little bit more firepower than this first one.
And obviously, yeah, you're looking for a more offensive-based idea from the Buffalo, but one down, and you're looking at more than likely a tough task for the Omaha Buffalo to figure out. But Green Bay, we talked about why the second seed V, and they showed it in that first game. They did not waver when it comes to how they played it. It just honestly was complete and utter control from the Knights, and I mean you see it on the scoreboard. That's 12 shots on the board to 3, and I mean Omaha getting 1 is a favor really on 3 shots.
Yeah, it was just it took a massive solar play from ISO to set up his teammate just to get 1 goal to put past this Knights side. And when you think of, I mean, the goals that were being put away from the Knights, they were able to get these double touches, but there's just so much space. This ball is just sitting in front of the net, as we saw with that Captuna Cat double touch. They're just able to have the ball in the area and can't quite get it out from their net. So I want to see if they can generate their chances. And honestly, I also want to see what this Knight side is able to bring from their own generation. I mean, one of my biggest impressive points about this Flyers side that we keep referencing is their interplay, their passing, their moving, their solo plays. They can really apply their game all around. And I want to see if in a situation like this, do the Knights have that same level of connection and chemistry that they'll need to take down some of the stronger opponents in the tier?
I was looking through some stats. Captuna Cats averaging 1.36 goals per game. That is second behind Etro on the leaderboards for Rising Star, but should be number 1 because obviously Captuna Cat has a lot more games in a game total of almost 40, and Etro only has 8. So inflated, obviously, but 3.7 shots per game and on a 36% shooting percentage, 1.5 saves a game, and almost averaging 500 score per game. Captuna Cat has been incredible for Green Bay this season so far. And I mean, you're seeing it on the field. They have had the ball in Omaha's half pretty much the entirety of this series. They have not wavered since what they have done for the first minute of the first game. And I mean, just please, Omaha, clear the ball or bang the ball down the field. I understand you want to try and possess it, but if you can't get out of your half, you can't get out of your half.
And they take that chance for S-Waves. Looking at Jerry Selling here, ISO drops it down. Big dome from Sear, but who's getting enough small pads to control that one. A little bit more possession play, hopefully, from this Buffalo side. This is an awkward place. Irish sends it across. Very nicely done, setting up ISO, but can't quite maintain this one. Shark bites off there on the sidewall. This is a crazy shot backboard. Can't get on target. Important interception there. Shark bite up to challenge. Big demo from S-Waves. Shark bite trying to pinch this off to a teammate. Can't quite get it over there. This one kicks up high. S-Waves looking again for a big demo. And this one drops down. Oh, Captuna Cat is just a monster so far at hitting that crossbar on these tight angles. And although he's not able to get it on target, it maintains this pressure for this Green Bay side as this one drops down off a teammate, bouncing in front again, and Sear this time clearing the lines. It's a precarious position so far for this Buffalo, and they're looking to successfully get this one out and hopefully step off the back foot a bit.
Good touch, front touch from S-Waves, a demo from Sharkbite on the far side of the field. Irish still good pass to Sear. It's going to head off the backboard. Sharkbite. Good movement across the field. Ball going to stay not... It's going to turn laterally now, but it was originally a good touch across, but the front was not great. That's a big miss from Sear. ISO good catch on the goal line, but again, like I said, you would want the ball out of your half a little bit quicker than what Omaha is trying to do. I understand the mechanics that they are trying to pull out, but with how Green Bay plays the game, it's a direct counter with Green Bay being so aggressive and quick on the ball, and they're not giving Omaha any time here. That's a demo. That's not even a shot from Captuna Cat, but it works because it's a demo.
Ooh, Yeah, that is just what they needed there. 2 players, probably low boost, out of position. Just need to clear out the third, and anything
Good
that's
enough.
on target will go in. And
Yeah, it's good enough.
improving the scoreboard and the incredible shooting record, trying to maintain that for the one Captuna Cat. But here's a chance right off kickoff. Irish up for this one, off the crossbar. And S-Waves gets a booming clear down here. ISO looking to take control. No one's testing him immediately. Gets the flip reset, but intercepted well. The pace of challenge there, great from Tuna Cat and also from S-Waves. They're looking for that demo on the third round immensely. This is a big, dangerous touch there from Seer. Luckily not capitalized upon as we hit 1 minute left here. Irish trying to find a pass on the field. Intercepted to the midfield. Seer now trying to get a chance, but it's just predicted wonderfully by the Knights. They're just waiting on backboard, expecting these touches, and if they know where the ball's gonna go, there's no worries. They just clear it out, no problem, and there's still no threat as the ball gets cleared out, and we only have 30 seconds left for the Omaha Buffalo to try and get back into this one.
And I feel a little bit responsible for Omaha not doing the greatest in this series so far. I did pick them to win, and kind of I just wanted the upset to happen. I wasn't trying to jinx them or anything, but give them with a chance here off the backboard. 2 players on it, but that was only 15 seconds left, and now it's 10 as Captuna Cat's just wasting time. They're hitting the ball away from each other, but what does it matter when it's in the possession of Omaha finally, but it was in the possession of Green Bay. That's a touch, that's a miss, but only a scare and only an unfortunate opportunity that's squandered away. And Green Bay is making quick work of Omaha here, up 2-0, and only 1 goal required. I mean, if you look at it this way, V, they only got to score 1 more to win the series. But if there would be a time to come back, this would be your chance. Omaha, the ball is definitely in your court, my friends.
Yes, I think just time to go all out. We see just another off the scorecard. A bit different in the goal totals, but the shots are relatively the same.
Yeah.
Knights this time having 11 compared to Buffalo's 3, and previously it was 12-3. So I think Omaha just needs to threaten a bit more on the offense, take a bit more risks, and it could be that if some of these missed touches that we're seeing come through, some of these demos that we saw emerge a bit more from this Knights roster, they're not as confident to allow themselves to push up the field, because what if their back line gets wiped out and then it's just an empty net? But I think I would like to see them honestly just blasting the ball down the field, getting into the space, see if they can generate a chance.
Yeah.
Test the touches. I mean, if you're respecting the opponent and letting them do what they want with the ball, the team with this much quality in the Knights is going to take that any game of the week, and you don't want to make it easy for this lineup. So I'm hoping we'll see some offense for this Omaha side, but it definitely will be challenging given the suffocating presence that the Knights have been displaying in these 2 games so far.
You know, I'm going to take this 10 seconds feed to just, I haven't talked to you in a while. How was your Thanksgiving? Obviously, you had a bit of a break, and you also you're doing pretty well in Challenger, so it's good news. Hopefully, you guys can pull it out in this last week. Good luck tomorrow, but
yes.
Yeah, you got the major coming up too. It's another good opportunity for you. It's a good opportunity for Steer. There's an open net, as that's going to lead right into an ISO touch over the top. Irish finds the beat on S-Baves, and that's all you need. It's simple, it's straight to the point, and it works.
Yeah, putting the numbers up the field, that's what I want to see, and a big beat by Irish, setting up Seer to get the first lead so far for this Omaha side. And that's really what they needed here. And yeah, I mean, it's been great. Oh, anytime I start talking about not the game, Seer's putting the ball in the back of the net. That's what I'm looking for. What a setup there. This time reversing it. Irish again finding Seer, and the pace on the shot.
Perfect placement too. It's upper 90. It's quick, and I like what you said about the setup. It's simple. It's nothing spectacular, but it puts the ball in the back of the net, and that's all you can ask for at this moment. You don't need to do anything, extra if you're Omaha right now, because you just want. Of course, that Green Bay Knights side to be making the mistakes.
Put the pressure on them. I mean, here we go. Another chance here for ISO. Could be a 1v1. Gets the flick around. Can't get around it. And this is an incredible turnaround. I cannot believe it. Great we've seen some solid mechanics out of ISO so far, and this is just another one to the tally. Flicks it around to S-Bave's Shark Bite. Can't get around it to clear it front post, and incredibly 3 goals in the first minute for the Omaha Buffalo.
And that's one of the fastest 3-0 leads we've seen so far this season. But we have also seen 3-0 leads evaporate this season very, very quickly. So if specifically Omaha, if you're listening to this, you may want to get a fourth one. That would be a good idea. And ISO, I think, here gets a touch off the backboard. Good pinch between S-Baves and Shark Bite. And I like what I've seen from Green Bay. They've done a really good job this season, specifically of using everyone. It's not just Captuna Cat all the time. S-Baves has been in the play. Shark Bite's put many shots in the back of the net. I mean, you see it here. A good shot, a good pass though from S-Baves, with a better save from Sear, stepping up huge for his Omaha side, trying to will them to a Game 4 and a possible Game 5, and then a reverse sweep to cap it off. But they got to hang on for 3 more minutes, and that seems like a daunting task considering it is 3 minutes, mate.
Yeah, 3 minutes of permanent pressure. That's definitely something Green Bay is possible of. We're seeing it right now, just covering the net, trying to get any saves, see the clock go down. It is a hefty advantage, but it may not last if they can't. A little bit more of an advantage, but Sears trying to get that ball clear. Double commit from Green Bay. Big touch from ISO, gets ahead of the Green Bay opponents, but now Tuna Cat on his own, flicks it over the top. Can't quite get the bump that they're looking for, and Shark Bite misses that one. Could be a third chance. ISO sends it off to the right. Has enough boost here to make a play on it. Goes off ceiling, looking for the pinch, drops it down, and chips it over the back post. Oh, what a play from ISO there, extending this massive lead.
Great touch across. Gets the pitch off the ceiling. It just goes over Shark Bite's head, who wasn't ready for the power that ISO was going to get on that touch. And ISO stepping up huge again for Omaha. They put the fourth one finally on the board because they have a fifth. The preset chance doesn't get it, but gets the fake underneath, and S-Bave's forced to respect it. And you see the chances that Omaha are starting to generate. Green Bay, though, have had a couple looks, but haven't been able to find the back of the net just yet, V15. So you're looking for them to enter V16, if you will. Are we gonna ever see a V16? Is that possible? Or V16? I feel like there was a V16, but then you went back down to V15.
Yeah, after the break, we might be V15 right now. we'll be unlocked, but maybe. I mean, we mentioned the break. We mentioned my true trusty Brainerd Challengers tied. Making a swap to the roster? What? Yeah. Check out on stream.
I heard about that, yeah.
Tomorrow, see the one and only Mexi joining myself in GB to close out the season, the major, and play-ins, of course, and hopefully the LAN. It'll be a good time. But
I'm rooting for you guys. I'm still a Brainerd fan, even though I'm gone. But I'm still a Brainerd fan at heart. I'm always a V15 fan at heart. The guy is a legend. But yeah, 5 on the board for Green Bay. This has just been all Sear, and you know, I'm gonna pull up the scoreboard real quick. Sear has 3 goals and 641 points, and the Knights do not have a player cracking 200 points at the moment. So you're going to need more than 200. Captuna Cat, here's that. He finally cracks it and gets 1 on the board. But with a minute 08, how realistic can we possibly be to say that the Green Bay can come back from this?
They'll need a few more kickoffs like that one to sort around. But if any team's going to do it, it's what we've seen in these earlier Green Bay games. If they can get themselves in a strong offensive position, as Captuna Cat does that, able to get the boost, keep this in the offensive area, gets a 50. No one up there waiting for ISO to clear this into the middle. This one going off crossbar. Important touch from Irish. And they're okay with this ping pong play style. We've seen the success so far in this game as this one's a little bit awkwardly in front. Double commit there. Something pitches towards the net. ISO capitalizes and clears this one out. But again, intercepted at the midfield line. This one's just sitting dangerously. You know, it's chipped up by Tuna Cat. This ball just sitting. There have been a couple of moments so far. This ball just sits on the goal line for this Omaha side, but it works out well. And ISO again taking over. And now it's 6-1.
I mean, it's a great first touch. Gets the follow up over the top of Shark Bite. Nothing you can do about it. 6-1. This is just a complete opposite from the entirety of what these first two games had in mind. ISO's looking for more. It does not want to let up. It wants to make a statement. And you're going to need a lot more than that, my friend. More than likely a reverse sweep to have a bigger statement, one that has more words in it. But 6-1 going to be the final scoreline. Omaha with an answer, and a broken and defeated one at that, because I don't know where this came from, but this is an outburst, the outburst I was looking for. When you look at this team, they look like they should be good on in every aspect of the game. They're all, sound mechanically, all somewhat decent on the defensive side of the ball, and why discredit them when it comes to their chances of possibly making an upset? So we're going to go to a fourth game. We will not be denied of the fourth game. I said there was going to be a game 4. I did say fourth game. I did say the Omaha Buffalo would win, but I wasn't specific enough.
Yeah, I didn't give a score on my predictions.
You didn't even give a prediction, did you?
I think I just said
you just said Green Bay were going to win.
Yeah, so I'm just cheaping my way out. But I mean, yeah, it's a resounding win from the Buffalo, and I mean, I'd be interested to see how this returns for this Green Bay side, because if this was like a 1-goal game, they went to overtime, it's so easy to just say we've already won the previous 2, we've dominated the previous 2, just focus up, we'll play better this matchup. But I mean, this was just, it felt like real domination from the Omaha side. Will Green Bay just try to play more of the same, or are they gonna look to switch something up, see if their demos will play more into their strategy? And if the Buffalo are able to maintain this momentum that they've had so far, all in these important showing at Utopia Coliseum, as what a shark bite. Incredible pace and height on that shot coming from the skies, and that's one way to answer back after a tough loss.
Fills it with lead, gets the pinch on the ground, gets enough on it, and slides it beautifully into the nets. Utter perfection on that first one from Green Bay. Captuna Cat looking for more. Gets the fake underneath Sear. The reset double. He's almost on target. We talked about why Captuna Cat's been great this season, showing a possible chance for their team to go up 2-0. And that was as close as you could possibly imagine it to be without it being a goal.
That was a great setup off that kickoff, and now we're seeing some pressure from Omaha. Big boost steal from Captain Cat, and clears the lines wonderfully. It's gonna be the next one to touch this one. Plays it off the corner, looking for a teammate. Sharkbite's up there, but not quicker than Irish. Seeing some important defensive interceptions in these past 2 games. Sear getting slight touch there, looking for a teammate in ISO off the corner. Both miss. This one bounces out for Irish. Could have a shooting chance here. Sends it a bit over. ISO looking for a back pass, but Sears in a dangerous spot with no boost, unable to receive that. Important demo from ISO to maintain possession for Omaha, and Irish clears it up. An important beat here. See if everyone's following with this one in a rough spot, but S-Faves beats out 2. Could be a chance for a counterattack. Sharp Bite taking his time, getting this under control. He's already seen 1 great goal out of him so far. Can't quite get that one, but does get the demo. Maintaining this pressure here and clearing the lines for Omaha. It is turning into a bit of end-to-end stuff, some strategic leaves here as S-Faves now chipping it off the crossbar.
Just kick me out of the game, love it, Rocket League. Completely, I'm back in. I'm here.
Stewie was dropped, but
just kicked me out of the game. Absolutely bizarre, but now 1-0 lead still for Green Bay, and look to ISO and Sear to step up for Omaha. They got to be the ones to bring this together, but Captuna Cat, you got to stop Captuna Cat first, because you can't stop Captuna Cat at the moment.
What a cutter on Sear there. Irish not expecting that at all, looking to get that back right boost, and all of a sudden he turns back ball cam and the ball's heading towards his net. What a sharp play, and I think that just stemmed from ISO looking for a teammate in the middle, but no one there up far enough to take over. And given what we've seen from Sharkbite so far, we assume that would have been the 3rd one, but can't quite get the angle on that, and we're stuck here with a 2-goal game. We know that Omaha has goals in them, but we're seeing a return to form. Previously, as not as many threatening shots coming through as Omaha when they need to in this all-decisive Game 4.
Few minutes still left to go though, V. It's going to be interesting whether, Omaha can even get a step back. They got to get one before they even get two. And what do you think they need to do differently? Because for me, it's get out of their half. Get the ball off of Green Bay's car. You cannot continue to give Green Bay the ball over and over again because they're going to continue to punish you.
Yeah, I think just clearing the lines, and we've seen it come back to bite them when they try to be a little bit too strategic with it, when they try to find a T-bane on a pass off a sidewall, and that's when Captain Cat can just swoop in and take it away. If they're just clearing the lines, they can generate the chance that they need. That was a good look there from ISO, trying to find a teammate out into the middle. Higher line of engagement so far. ISO can't quite read this one. Important touch here from Sear. Can't quite get it as he needs to. Shark Bite looking for S-Waves out in the middle. This one jumps over the top. Sear might not have the boost here. Just gets a nice double jump clearance there. Clearing the lines. Irish looking for teammate. Can't quite get it here. Need to see this ball leave the defensive side for Omaha because we're nearing a minute left and 2 goals when Green Bay has been so stout on defense so far, but that's the beginning. ISO gets around 1, followed up by Sear. Off the crossbar, someone here to take over. Important, heading toward his own net. Captain Cat reads it and clearing the lines once again, and Omaha will have to start to generate their offense once more.
Still 50 seconds. Still a chance. Omaha have the ball possession in the half of the Green Bay Knights. The shot from ISO was saved by S-Baves, who was sitting right ready for it. Captuna Cat into the corner, all the way down the field. Gets rid of the ball for the Knights, who are really just hanging on at the moment as Omaha going to run into each other. The demo comes in from S-Baves on the far side of the field. 30 seconds left. And you got to wonder... if Omaha can come back, they're going to get one. There is a chance, as they're going to cut it in half. ISO catches the 50 out. Perfect for Irish to follow up.
Yeah, great. Again, another great pass from ISO. The control of that landing off the sidewall and jumping out to dunk that right into the middle on the third man for the Knights. Giving his team a shot here. There is time, and ISO again, he's been the hot one so far this series. Can he break out another great pass for teammate? Gets it off the crossbar, isn't it when they're following? Sear puts it, and it goes just off the outside post. That could have been the chance that they needed as this one kicks over the top. Need to get an interception here, need to launch this one down the field, and Captuna Cat just plays it slow, gets it around 2. Sear flicks this one up, Sharkbite just needs it to hit the ground, but it stays up, but ISO can't put it away. A 3-1 victory for the Green Bay Knights, continuing their strong record, strong performance, looking to lock in that second seed before heading into the major, and Omaha Buffalo dropping to 5-9 after a resurgence in Game 3, unable to continue that momentum into Game 4, and moving on, retaining their 13th spot, but they will need to have an important matchup coming up to keep their positioning.
Yes, and with that score coming in, I put 4, but regardless, I believe, yeah. So Hibbing and or Bemidji actually has already played both of their matches on the night. They played them earlier in the week, actually, on the 29th. So they played both of their matches yesterday and went 1-1. But that is the only other match scores we have in besides Green Bay and Omaha, the ones that have been updated. But Green Bay also plays Des Moines on the night, who is, I believe, in second to last, 3-10 on the season. If I'm looking at it, Omaha plays St. Cloud, who, wow, Omaha has not a very fun night. Not going to lie. They're playing the number 1 and the number 2 team. So that is if St. Cloud is still the number 1 team. But it looks to be that they are after Green Bay just wins. But yeah, you see what Omaha is going to have to deal with. I still have faith in them. I feel like they can, pull out, eke out maybe a Game 5 against St. Cloud, but they got to really bring it. If they're, playing against Green Bay like that. But honestly, with how Green Bay looked, they were dominant when it comes to the consistency. Omaha, yeah, they had that great third game like we talked about, but they couldn't come to fruition long enough for them to even have a chance of going to a fifth game. So that was only our first series of the night. If we look at the schedule, we've got 3 more: Mankato and Brainerd coming up, Rochester and Fargo, and Chicago and St. Paul. And this next one is one that you're going to look out for: Brainerd in 3rd, Mankato in 7th. We talked about VU specifically talked about, what is important here from the 2nd and 3rd seed all the way down to the 8th seed. It can change in an instant depending on what happens. So your Brainerd team has to be definitely looking at that.
Yeah, it'll be a big important matchup. It sounds disparate, 3rd versus 7th, but it's only one series that separates that. That's just one game 5 that goes the wrong way. So both these teams showing their strength, showing what they can bring to the table, and it's going to be a very even matchup. There's some strong players on both sides, and I'm sure I'll try to keep it as unbiased as possible. But looking to see who comes out of top coming up.
Definitely. And we're going to jump to a very quick break. We've got about 5-ish minutes before that match is slated to come up. 6:45. It's 6:41. So we've got 4 minutes to digress before we hop into the next one. But it's going to be the Mankato Atlas and the Brainerd Victory after the break. And I'm looking at rosters. For the Victory, you've got blue. Carl's Nuts and Paul, the most fun team to watch on stream, and of course for Mankato, Black Belt Jaws and Cripplify, their normal rosters. Both all the way around should be a blast. We'll see you guys when that match comes up after the break.
Moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter. Times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get 2 paid, and my 3 wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload, and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory, and I got it, cause I'm here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Waiting. You lift me off of the ground. I close my eyes and I wait for the come down. I used to live in the now. Now I'm wiser to think that we are bulletproof. Teens with thicker skin, now we just bruise. We were hopeless and we're hopeless now, but I remember we threw our fists in the air singing. I remember when we were kids, never scared, yeah. And the sky went dark, we used our hearts to guide us. You showed me you care, and I remember, yeah, I remember. Now, but I remember we threw our fists in the air singing. I remember when we were kids, never scared, yeah. And the sky went dark, we used our hearts to guide us. You showed me you care, and I remember, yeah, I remember.
One of the best defenses in Rising Star is going to hit the field. The Brainerd Victory, currently at number 3 in goals against and number 2 in saves per game rank. They have been incredible on defense, V. You're a part of the franchise. You know why, because the Brainerd Victory, the V stands for victory. And they have done great on defense, but it's their offense that's been lackluster. 12th in goals per game and 14th in shooting percentage. But we have seen what this team can do when they are in a good vibe. They were one of the most fun teams to watch so far this season, and we get to view them again for this match. They're taking on the Mankato Atlas, who are number 2 in shooting percentage, number 2 in demos per game. So they're a physical team, but they are number 14 in shots per game. So they do not put on a ton of shots. So they're going to be have to be very, very critical with their chances. But second match of the night coming up.
Yeah, it should be a good showdown. It's interesting given how these two teams coming in here. Obviously, the strong defense of the Brainerd Victory, keeping up all the saves and not really getting too many shots against another team that doesn't get too many shots in the Mankato Atlas. Two teams that potentially play a very similar play style, and they're going up against each other. It will be interesting to see who can take over some wins here. We already saw previously that the Mankato Atlas were able to secure a 3-2 win over the Duluth Superiors. So starting off the match day right, getting off to an early start and beating a team in the Duluth Superiors who are currently now at 5-9 compared to the Mankato Atlas currently now 9-5 lineup. You could be contrasting signals there. You look at a team that maybe won their previous game, but not by a dominant fashion, could influence how this turns out. But we see if they can continue to win these matchups and take down my own Brainerd Victory, who are on a hot streak of their own.
And yeah, I'm gonna go with the Brainerd Victory. Now with Mankato winning, they jump up to 4th, right behind the Brainerd Victory. We talked about what would happen. How the 3rd through 8th seeds can change in a blink of an eye. with Mankato winning, they can tie Brainerd for their record, but if they win, they can actually win by game differential, but they have to win in they can't win in game 5. It has to be in 4. So my prediction is Brainerd in 4. I just can't bet against the Brainerd victory with how good they've been on defense. Offense is always something you can work on, but defense, if you have the defensive structure, that really never goes away unless you're literally tossing the match away.
Exactly. If you have a team that has a strong foundation, there's way less pressure to have to continuously score goal after goal after goal to maintain a matchup. It is going to be interesting to see, and also nothing like using my searching ability at ballchasing.com to get a sneaky unofficial result in. But I do believe, given Slay Panthers uploads, that the Brainerd victory beat the Burnsville Inferno in 5 games. So they are now sitting at 10-4 against beating a Burnsville Inferno side who are now 8-6. So Burnsville Inferno now, given how the results are panned out, are even in game difference with Burnsville and Mankato. So depending on the results here, if they're it could all come down to how well they do in this series. If they can keep it close, if they can run away with it, they're giving themselves a great setup. And Brainerd wants to keep pace with the Green Bay Knights, who we previously saw play so strongly in our first stream matchup.
Yeah, and Brainerd can't obviously overtake Green Bay unless they come in with another win here, but Green Bay would have to likely lose in a sweep for that to happen with how the game differential is. But Brainerd, always looking for, obviously, that one up, trying to take down Mankato would be a massive victory for them if it came in, no pun intended, but Brainerd, obviously coming off of that win, Mankato coming off of a Game 5 win over Duluth. So you have two teams coming off of closely contested series, now in their second series of the night. Running out of gas, possibly, V? I don't think so. I think that they went to the refuel station in between, possibly. But jumping on screen, team pitches. Yeah, they went to the refuel station. All right, they hit up a 7-Eleven. They definitely hit up a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that was a good, impressive thing to look for in game 1. They're already feeling it. I mean, maxing out the games that you have going into it. I think both these teams will be bringing their all, bringing to get a result. And I mean, it's crazy, but for both these teams, the end of the regular season, it's come a long way. We've seen these lineups perform quite well, having positive winning records, and are looking to find some success in the upcoming major. But job's not done yet, as Blockville can't quite get the read, and Blue is there to capitalize on it. But you have two strong teams, just one mistake, one slow approach to the ball that can cost you, as Blue gets the lead for the victory.
All it takes is one little mistake. And Blue able to get the first one on the board for the victory. Plenty of time. A fake kickoff comes out from Mankato. A possible miscommunication between them as both players just drive away from the ball. Black belt spawns in it. It's awkward. That's a free shot for Carl. And Carl's nuts has the first one on the board for himself, who is able to put in that second for Brainerd, extending the lead, giving them a little bit of cushion. But look for Mankato to come back in this series with a possible chance of doing that. But yeah, I mean, really, for me, Brainerd is the team that I love casting them on stream. I don't remember if it was week 5 or 6, something along those lines, close to that, but easily the most fun I've had casting a series this season, as they were all smiles when it comes to what they were doing. They could not do any wrong in that series, but in this one, starting off very, very well, looking for a third is Paul, but despite, us talking about the stats, V, of them not having the best offense, still, like I said, offense is something you can always improve upon, and it's something you can work out, and they could have possibly been doing that over this break, as Blue is a absolute final shot straight to the back of the net.
Yeah, all the pressure here, just ready for that drop down. Blue again in the right position to capitalize, put that front post offense is coming through as they need to, and can maintain that strong defense, a strong midfield play. I guess the ball can't stay in midfield forever with two defensive teams, and the offense is showing signs of life for this victory team and getting quite the clearance, putting Blackwell in a dangerous position. Can't quite get the double there. Carl following this one up, Kripify off the crossbar, but again, Paul putting on pressure. Big down from Blackwell to open up some space for Jaws, but now he is gone. Big pinch from Kripify. Now the ball is just kind of bouncing around. Double jump there for Mankato. Both players, I think they had a read on this one. Interesting touch towards the middle. No one really taking possession of this ball as going on either side, getting a touch. And this will just suit the victory quite nicely, but we can see a shot here from Blackwell. Sends it over the top, and that's some of that defensive positioning we've seen. Just stacking the net, 3 players, 1 crossbar, 2 in the net, and that's gonna be a tough wall to crack if you're trying to get a goal here.
Yeah, and I'm just taking a look at stats and trying to find Jaws. Jaws right now 0.9 goals per game, not quite cracking 1, but a shooting percentage of almost 40. 353 points per game. Crip only 350, 0.87. It's a pretty even stack between how this Mankato offense has been doing as far as, you know, who's getting the points, who's getting the goals. But for me, Blockbelt has been the backline defender, and trying to find him, not even cracking 0.6 goals per game, 0.9, but the saves for me, 1.5 on the season, has been the backline defender for Mankato. But you don't need backline defense when you're down 3-0. Rule 1 in the corner. There's 6 seconds left. Can they get 2 and 3? But not quite. As looking to break him up is Paul. The ball gonna hit the floor. Brainerd gonna strike first blood in this game, or in this series, and lead 1-0.
Yeah, good setup plays, good passes, and good capitalization on chances. Some tough situations there for Blockbelt on those first 2 goals. It's a hard ball off the backboard that Blue shot on, and then the second one, that ball somehow like bounces off the corner, doesn't roll up, doesn't stay on the ground, and Carlos Nuts, of course, reads it. So for their stalwart defender, not the put into tough situations and put away by the victory, and that's just continuing the pressure, banging the ball down into the offensive area for the victory and generating the offensive chances that they need to and that they haven't really been doing so far this season.
Indeed. But you see Carl cracking almost 500 points. Blue has 374 for 2 goals on 5 shots. Didn't contribute anything else, but 2 assisted goals out of the 3 is not a bad start on 9 shots. Only 4 for the Alice, who don't even crack 1 in the net. So you're going to need a little bit more on offense if you're Mankato. Going to need to find the back of the net more than once, V. I mean, because like we said about Brainerd, once they get a lead, they are very, very tough to take that lead away from them. Even let alone getting 1 on the board against them is tough, considering just how well structured this Brainerd team is. Looking to differentiate themselves from the rest of the pack, and extend the lead on their season and crack into that top 2 and get a possible land spot.
Yeah, important to get an early goal, I think, against this victory side. And we can see from, I guess, comparing the game difference, it's not the highest you've ever seen. Currently, they're at 7 games positive, and the opponent's Mankato is at 5. So, although they have 1 whole series win more, it's very comparable to their own. So, it could be that if games aren't going their way, they're unable to maintain that dominance all the time. And we've already seen how strong their offense is looking and how strong the defense is. Maybe the answer to that is if you can get that first goal, if you can force them to kind of stretch and look to over attack the offense, trying to get it evenly, maybe that's where they can be capitalized upon. Because I agree, I don't know if you have a team that's fully set up defensively and is performing like the victory do. I don't know how you crack that shell, but the one way to do that could be through demos, and Cripplify is definitely hunting down some victory players, but the ball is still on the offensive side as Carlos Nuts sends this one up high, rolls it down. Jaws gets the touch, but Blue could take a shot here. Just a bit off to the side, and seeing some of this shooting troubles that may have been plaguing this victory side emerge a little bit more in the game 2 here.
It's all Brainerd right now. All the pressure on the Atlas to clear the ball away. Carl gets dunked. He just sits there. He just accepts that. Crip gets a dunk on the front half of the goal, and able to finally crack the shell of Brainerd, and they get one. That's the important part. They got one. Now they got to focus on getting more than one, because obviously Brainerd is going to try and even up the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it, considering how much pressure they have actually had the entire time.
Yeah, they've been on the offense. Is this one? No, just a bit off. Jaws trying to find a teammate double commit there from Mankato. Their eyes popping out of their head as they see a ball in front of the net. After so many rare chances offensively in game 1, important read from Blue here, but this is what I'm interested to see. We see an early lead here from Mankato against a strong defensive team. Are the Victory going to play a different way? I don't believe so. As backflip saved that one. Paul gave him a shot, but just can't go get around it with enough pace. And again, another missed touch defensively from Blockbelt, and it's evened up here. It's game 2.
2:50 to go still. Plenty of time for the Victory, of course, to take this one and go up 2-0, but Mankato looking for an answer. Crip on the ball. Good ball possession from him. Trying to get one more on the board, of course, for Mankato to take the lead, but Mankato have had struggles when it comes to getting out of their half. They've done a better job in the second game of just straight clearing the line, and we talked about it in the last series with Omaha. They couldn't break out of their half ever, and they couldn't ever relieve any of the pressure that Green Bay was putting on them. So key in on that, think about it, and learn it, nurture it, return it to sender. Yeah, it's really, really key for Mankato to focus on the clear game, because that's what's going to get them out of the trouble that Brainerd has been putting them in.
Yeah, we've seen success so far with just hitting the ball off the back wall, looking to have it bounce in a weird way, and immediately get a goal off of it. That's how 2 of the 3 goals came through for the Victory, and we haven't seen that as much with this Mankato team. They aren't able to get this ball really in their offensive area. They're getting some clearances here as Clipify looking for a pass down the middle. Side flip from Blockbelt, can't quite get it. Now Blue has room to take over here, gets the flip, not able to follow it up. The big 50 out into the middle, but again, see this positioning by Paul, able to lock this ball back in. Blue is not even close to it, but it's driving towards it, gets a free shot, puts it right towards Jaws. That will be threatening the net. And now Jaws has his own chance to bring it out in front. Blockbelt looking for a shot, puts it at the keeper. Cripplefy dunked, and now we have 3 people offensively. Can Blue try to find a quick counter attack? Cannot quite tuck this one away. Some of the shots have not been able to fall yet, but now we're seeing a little bit more emergence so far with Mankato if they're able to get a all-important leading goal with 1 minute remaining.
Brainerd, for me, has just done a better job, of slowing the play down. When they possess the ball, it's more effective. It's they're beating people with the ball in ball possession. They're getting touches that are more important. Good follow from Jaws. Will throw it away as it hits the backboard. Blockbelt pops it up in the middle, trying to find Cripplify, who has a touch across, and pressure on Brainerd here to make a stand and hold off for 30 seconds. Mankato has him on the ropes. Crip has a follow-up that's on target all the way through, and Crip has given Mankato a lead with 27 seconds left.
Great pass from Jaws. The pace on that one to find Cripplify, carrying the momentum, and snipes it past Paul and Blue in the net. All important goal here. Now Brainerd, who feels like they have been able to control their own offensive abilities, control their chances, slow the play down, as you mentioned. They're going to need to ramp it up a bit here. 20 seconds left. Paul now into the corner, gets the flick out into the middle. Blue drops down the full 3. Can Carl Nuts get in front? He can, and Blue's there to follow it up. What an offensive play there by the Brainerd Victory to even up this game in the crunch time.
I thought it wasn't going to work out. Carl pinches the ball all the way across, and Blue, of course, he's ready for it. I thought it went by the wayside after that shot from Blue was completely off target, beating 2 players. Now off the kickoff. Blue, don't do this. Hits the backboard. 8 seconds. Carl finds the backboard. Paul has the shot. It's up the backboard again. And Crip clears the line. Ball stays up. It doesn't. It's 0 seconds. And overtime in game 2. Brainerd looking for the 2-0 lead. They win the kickoff again. They've been lethal on kickoffs so far, V. In this series, have dominated them. And it's the reason why they're looking for a 2-0 series advantage. Paul, Black Belt's awkward on his backline. Paul was looking for a bump, but Black Belt wasn't even ready for that himself.
Yeah, they've been looking for these sidewall plays, looking at that bump on the keeper. This is a belter from Carl, trying to get his own shot. It's a bit of a side flip out of the way. Blue, though, sends it up high. Not able to follow this one up. Paul, again, the patience there, not contesting it, keeping this ball into a dangerous area. That miss from Black Belt, putting Cripplify in a tough spot. This one bounces out. Blue putting off front post. Again, no one following this one up. They're looking to choose their attacks wisely, not trying to just dive in and lose the pressure that they have as of right now. Jaws trying to clear it, can't get this one out. Slowly but surely holding on this offensive pressure are the Brainerd victory. But that is a double commit there. Blue in the right spot to take over. This one goes over the top. Cripplify needs to get this one out of the defensive half, trying to generate an offensive chance. Sets up Jaws well. Bounces off a player who's backpedaling here. And an important interception. Could be heading towards the back of the net. Off to the side from Paul. This ball is going back and forth now. Either team has a chance here. No one wants to drop this game too, because staring down the eyes of a reverse sweep is not what you want heading into the last game of the season, right before the all-important seeding, where everything can get decided in how this series goes. It is a close matchup as we speak. This ball is kicked up here. You were muted, so I was covering.
I started talking to myself. I was just so confused.
Selfish caster.
Yeah, definitely. Awkward backline, though. Blue looking for another touch. Jaws was so awkward. Crip, good possession. Won't have any boost, though, is to follow up. Jaws gets one more and another. Off the corner. It's been in Mankato's half for this last minute and a half. And they finally clear the line. They kind of do is... Touch was looking for across the field was Black Belt. Crip has a good first touch to himself. And that's one thing that Mankato need to do a little bit better job of, is finding another touch after getting one, because that all-important second one will help them clear their line a little bit cleaner. And they won't have to work through as many 50-50s off the backboard. Crip, it's a touch across, gets it right to Paul, though. That's a touch across. Blue can put it away. The clear game wasn't ready. Mankato wasn't ready for that off the backboard. Crip didn't get the most power on it. And Black Belt thought Crip would get a little bit more, and he didn't. And Blue finally gets that all-important game-winning goal for the victory here. We're up 2-0.
Yeah, we've seen that so many times this series. It's just Paul just waiting at just beyond the midway point. And just waiting for the Atlas to clear the ball to him. And we see it there with that pass. Cripplify trying to get a boom and clear, trying to set up Black Belt on the intercept out. And he's just waiting in the right spot, intercepts the play, just waiting for it to come to him, and he's able to set up a teammate and get the overtime goal. So it'd be interesting to see how the Atlas can counter this. I don't know if they're able to pick up on what Paul and the Victor are doing to maintain the offensive pressure, because either they have to hit this ball beyond the victory player just to fully get that ball out, or look to control it, look to keep this close so that you're forcing them to contest you, because as of right now, their line of engagement is just perfect from the victory, and I could be seeing more of the same success in Game 3 if it keeps going this way.
So with Brainerd up 2-0, they are able to eke out the win in that last game. I don't want to say this is going to be a sweep, but you're looking at like a series that has been not dominated by Brainerd, but they've had most of the possession and most of the offensive chances. To see the least, I mean, to pick them to win is not a, crazy thing here. They have had the cleaner offensive opportunities. It just feels like we're playing one half of Rocket League and Mankato is stuck, but that last game was better. It's just a couple errant touches and a couple errant misses from Mankato. If they don't make the simple mistakes, that cost them, obviously it's a different game, but you have to think what does Mankato have to do differently? For me, it's still clearing the ball. It's still getting good hard touches downfield that'll help them space out more. Because obviously with how Brainerd's playing, they're getting they're capitalizing on the open chances that they're getting, and they're not making the simple mistakes.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, there's a soft clear from the Atlas, and they're able to maintain this ball close. Is every touch that is looking for a defensive move is being kept hit with a 50, is being intercepted just like from the ceiling from Blue from all angles. Carl's gonna send this off the corner. Paul going for the bicycle kick chance there, but can't quite get it. But again, lots of pressure. Great setup by Blockball to find Cripplify, to finally clear these lines. They need to get on this interception here. This one kicks out in the middle. Great recovery from Paul. And again, getting just constant touches here, putting the ball in an awkward spot for the Atlas. Important touch from Jaws to make sure there's no shot from Blue as it kicks out to the middle. And now Paul needs an important touch, gets a great pinch. The defense again, so strong for this victory side, not allowing any chances even when the ball is barely in their half. They are sticking with it and contesting what they need to, and the trends of the game are pointing to their success as you see a shot here though from Jaws, and now he gets his own space and puts it back post, and again an early lead for this Mankato team.
It's takes advantage of the space. The big miss though, Blue wasn't ready for it. The big miss from, I believe, Carl on the back line made that mistake, and now you gotta wonder, you know, if Brainerd, what they're doing now, being down 1 goal, how they come back from that. But they were down in that, you know, Crip scored with 27 seconds left in that second game, and now you're looking at a possible 2-goal advantage. Blue, they're able to get but he own goals it off the crossbar. I thought he had it, he did, but gonna put it in his own net. An unfortunate bounce, but had the first save. Will double the ball into his own net. 2-0 Mankato, who have not had this advantage yet, V15, and now they do.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be able to get onto that one. Gets the initial touch, but just the momentum carries him through. Very, very unfortunate. And again, I mean, we've seen the two points I was looking for. We've seen Jaws take that controlled touch and then shooting it, taking the space that created for himself, and then that play was all set up from just a massive clear off the back line straight towards the net. So they're able to get this ball launched down the field. They're able to control it a bit better, and we're seeing it pay dividends for this Mankato side. But obviously the victory are so strong, they are looking to fight to keep this top 3 spot locked in for the major, and they have the offensive ability to do so. Important save again in the net from Cripplify. Blue with a great touch around 2, trying to find a third off the crossbar. So many chances here from the victory from these crossbar touches. This ball just hanging out in the middle of the net, but they're unable to find that finishing touch. And as time keeps ticking down, and we've seen some more stalwart defense from the Mankato Atlas, this could be a tough ask.
Indeed. But Jaws with a good touch across. Carl will be dunked. Crip with a good catch on the sidewall. Has a good first touch, but throws it right to Blue, who catches kind of 2 players lacking from Mankato. Weren't ready for it. Crip gonna spawn on the ball side. That's awkward as Jaws has to make a touch. And I talked about how Mankato were all kind of even when it comes to their statistics. They are, but nobody on their team cracking a goal per game. Them scoring 2 here is absolutely massive, as Black Belt's looking for 3, but you gotta wonder who's gonna step up for Mankato to close this game out. Who's gonna step up from Brainerd? It's Paul, because he finds Blue on a follow-up, and that's what Brainerd do so well.
Look at that spacing there. I mean,
hey, from Jaws.
This is a great setup. Just get a touch on that one. Incredible, the space that he was able to take and following it up. The initial save so strong, but nothing Cripplify could do, and that's a dangerous miss from Jaws there. Could be a shot. Important save from Cripplify, just trying to flick this one on. Dangerous situations. Once again, it feels like the Atlas are heading towards a victory, and then they run to a wall. They lose their chance in the final moments. Is more dangerous, nervy sections of play for this Atlas side. Slowed down wonderfully by Blockball and gets the flip around. But again, intercepted. Blue now chipping it up high. Paul off the backboard. Need a touch from Jaws. Bit awkward, but sends it into the corner. Anything to get this one out, and Blockbelt clearing the lines. Followed up by Cripplefy into the corner. 20 seconds remaining, and they're looking for that all-important insurance goal, but they have to make sure not to drop their defensive mindset with 15 left. It's going again. Jaws now looking for Blockbelt off the back post. Last shot here for Carlos. Gets the boost. Flicks over one. He can't keep going on this one.
Oh, please
Doesn't
tell me
even
I'm
get
not
the
muted.
shot off the front post. And Paul drops down. Me and my muted co-partner and watch.
I got scared there for a little second. I got called it, and I'm like, it's a 0-second goal, please. Just quiet for a second. Just quiet for a second. Let me actually just lock in for this 0-second chance. But the important thing is Mankato gave up a goal late in game 2 that tied up the game, and Brainerd went on to win it. Mankato don't do that here and are able to get to the 4th game. Maybe that's a change of heart for the Atlas, who trying to come back and honestly have a very, very good chance after that win. But you gotta wonder though, Brainerd, do they come back? Honestly, they look poised to do it.
Yeah, and I did think that from watching the replay of that first goal from the victory from the last game, it looked like Crip was AFK and mentioned some potential internet issues, so that might be something to look out for as this game goes along, because they always tends to internet issues tend to hit at the worst times. But an important victory, important win to keep in the series, kind of similar to what we've seen previously in the previous matchup between Omaha and Green Bay, a team that is all so dominant in those first 2 games, and then a bit of a resurgence for the team that is down. But then losing that mustard as it comes through in game 4. Will we see more of the same? Will the victory be able to close out the series and perform as they need to and try to lock down what they can have with this 3rd place spot?
Blockbelt doesn't choose to go right away. Crip gets not an errant touch. Doesn't even make contact. Blue off the corner looking for a dunk through, but Jaws Stallworth in the back line makes a save for Mankato. Holds that line down and gives Blockbelt a chance on ball possession. Well, Mankato, a lot of the times, they just been defaulting to hitting the ball forward, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing, but when it turns into a giveaway to Brainerd, who are waiting, it can be dangerous nevertheless. But off the backboard again, pressure from Brainerd, who are holding this midfield line down. I mean, honestly, Mankato, they've done a better job of getting out of their half, but still got to look for more across. They're going to need 2 more games straight V to take the series.
Yeah, we haven't seen as much as the offensive pressure for this Mankato side. I mean, thinking back to the 2 goals, we saw a midfield touch and finish by Jaws, and then just a banging clear that was put away as an own goal. So they haven't had a sustained offensive pressure, which, although is a valid situation if you can continue defending, I feel like sustained offensive pressure is more likely you'll be able to get chances, because you can have an opportunity like this, bumping off the back line, putting a team into a dangerous situation, as Paul is looking to do so, trying to find a team in the middle, can't quite follow it up. Blue able to track back, and Carl clearing lines, looking for Paul down the
nice
field.
pass!
Pass! Some of the defense that we've heard about from Blockbelt, keeping this Mankato side in it.
Nice read up front of the top upper 90. The pass was great to Paul all the way down the field from Blue, and a better save though from Blockbelt. Talked about the backline defense has been huge. Goes in and out, doesn't make contact. Carl doesn't read that. Dunk comes across. Blockbelt has a free touch on the ball, but no boost to do anything with it. Carl will have his boost stolen by his teammate in Blue, who recognizes he has to push up because Carl has nothing on the back line. Blue has another touch over the top, gets a beat, gets a bump on Jaws. Carl was ready and waiting. A big save again from Mankato on defense. holding line. Jaws and Block Belt have been instrumental, but it's been Crip to find the touches out. He's got to keep doing that and clear the line definitely. As the ball is going to come across the front of the Mankato Atlas net. Another big win from Crip. Going to find a pass across to Blue. That's all the way down. Another chance for Black Belt to turn it away. He doesn't need to. Gets the crossbar's help. This is awkward off the backboard. Blue goes missing. Follow up from Carl's there. He hits the crossbar. It doesn't go in. Paul, though, will be both defenders, and both of the defenders thought the shot was coming in a little quicker.
Oh, it's so unfortunate. Off the crossbar, both Jaws and Block Belt getting in front of it, assuming that Paul's going to swoop in. He's just a half second later. Puts it away. I mean, it felt like a goal was coming. We saw some great defensive showcase from Block Belt as he tried to re-perform his previous big save, but unable to do so as everyone hit us to the crossbar. And a minute left already. This game feels like it has been flying by with so many offensive chances. Cripplify unable to get this read. Block Belt straight underneath the ball, gets a touch to it. Blue's there to take the shot off the bar, off the crossbar again. And it's cleared by Cripplify. I cannot believe this team is running into each other. What is happening? I don't know how this ball is not going in. Oh, the Victory should just close this match out right away. They're looking for an inter-player passing play, and it's just not working out. And by some way, shape, or form, the ball's in front and Blackwell puts it away. How is this game tied with 30 seconds left? I do not believe it.
This is legitimately a complete and utter ridiculous performance from Mankato to even have a chance. I don't know how that ball is not in the back of their net for a 2-goal lead, but they're able to get all the way down the field and tie up the game, and now Brainerd, who has had completely most of the control and the chances, looking to find that win and finally cap off the series, but Mankato will not die. They will not go away. And with only 15 seconds left, you're again on the side of the Mankato Atlas, who have to somehow come away with a game win off of the most improbable defensive sequence I think I've seen this season yet so far. As Jaws is going to let the ball hit the ground overtime, they're going to make it even more intense than it ever needed to be.
Yeah, so by some way, shape, or form, Blue's trying to end it early. Can't quite get onto it. Block Belt back to more of the same. Some defending from the Atlas side and some launches by the Victory. Will we see a switch up? It felt like the last overtime was just who can survive the longest. No one taking that offensive risk. I want to see some of these players try and just outreach a little bit more, contest a bit more, take some risks offensively to get this one either sent to Game 5 or lock in the series. But it could potentially be more of the same. Mankato again on the back line. Block Belt's awkward there, and Paul. All this defense is not enough, and finally the pass off the sidewall from Carl's Nuts sets up Paul, and that will do it. Another 3-1 performance on the night on the stream matches.
Huge win. Mankato with a Mankato with a performance and a half on defense. Shout out to the Alice for they really made that as close as they possibly could. I mean, honestly, like I can't even believe it. But with that, it's a big win though for Brainerd, who obviously 3-1 on the season. Or not 3-1 on the season. 3-1 on that. Jump up to 11-4, tying St. Cloud for points. Although they are way back in game differential. St. Cloud has 20, but St. Cloud obviously looking at an 11-2 record. I don't know how the other matches have gone. I have to look at the score report, but looking to be is St. Paul 3-0ing Fargo. That is a actual massive win for St. Paul, who Fargo was 7th and St. Paul was 11th last time I checked. So, and Bloomington 3-0ing Rochester. So another win for Bloomington. Other than that, it doesn't look to be like any other score reports have come in, unfortunately. But those are all the ones that we have so far. But Brainerd really just, like I said, with all the pressure, they had all the offensive chances. It's the reason why they came out with the win. And Only our second match of the night.
Yeah, I'd say it's a deserved win. It felt like since the start of game one, just a strong performance by the Brainerd Victory. They were really able to impress offensively in ways that we almost weren't expecting, and also showing their continued glimpses of their defensive prowess, showing why they were such a strong team, wrapping up the regular season at 11-4, giving themselves the best shot at setting themselves up to hit that second place, third place area heading into the major. And yeah, I think it's a strong showing their momentum as they can. And depending on some of the results coming in, how that comes through, that avoids any goal difference issues that they might have had with Minneapolis, with Mankato themselves, by getting that all-important 11th win. So very important showing, but obviously it's not over yet. There are still games coming up ahead in our later time slots. All important matchups, and on stream coming up next, we have the Rochester Rhythms playing against the Fargo Steelhawks, which gives itself some interesting insight. I think it will be an important matchup. I mean, we're seeing Fargo coming off a 3-0 loss to St. Paul. Will they be able to regain? Will they get a victory up against the team that is currently sat at the bottom of Rising Star in the Rochester Rhythm? Be sure to stick around. Be sure to check that after a quick break, and we'll bring that action to you just shortly.
When it's coming at you like monsters in the night, and you feel the danger that makes you wanna hide. When the cards are stacked against you and you're standing on the edge, now's the time, now's the time. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other. 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 When you're falling faster and don't know where you are, you feel the danger closer than your heart. When the weight is getting heavy and the future is unsteady, close your eyes, close your eyes. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other.
Came from a broken home. I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through. Claim me a night like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance. Show me that you mean it. We'll feel some type of way. Something must be wrong with me. Keep wanting just to see you show up at my door. Et même quand je suis froide, un peu indifférent, tu continues tout de même de montrer tes efforts. I'm trying to keep my heart in peace. I just can't think but the way that I feel. It's too hard to trust. I mess it up. I just can't risk to be falling like this. Oh, ooh. Why do you keep chasing clouds? Ooh. If I could change my mind. I said, ooh, why do you keep chasing clouds? Gonna live before I feel something, ooh, before I could change my mind. I said, ooh, why do you keep chasing clouds? Gonna live before I feel something, ooh, before I could change my mind.
Don't wait too long. Feelings they run. I know it's hard. We'll win this time. Don't wait too long. Feelings they run. I know it's hard. We'll win this time.
Need you by my side.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more MCS action. Rising Star Night Thursday nights, season number 8. We're on the final week of the season. Wolf and Stewie, once again on your screen. We're always here. We're always ready. And we're on the third matchup of the night. The Rochester Rhythm taking on the Fargo Steelhawks. Both of these teams, Brock, coming off of losses on the night. One of them was a game 5 or a game, both sweeps, I think. Yeah, both sweep losses, I believe. But Rochester have a new player in Zesterus, who they just picked up. Had to make a roster move due to a retirement. But other than that, you've got Zesterus, Ori, and of course Derek on the side of the Rhythm. Bob Slinger, Cloudy Lechever, and Mal on the side of the Fargo Steelhawks. Both teams, like I said, coming off of losses, Brock. So they're going to be wondering what they got to do to get a game win on the board, because no, a 3-0 loss is not exactly going to be your bread and butter, that's for sure. And the first one going to start off for the Steelhawks on a long clear downfield.
Yep, Mal just all the way downfield to redirect that one, and you know, that was kind of wanted to mention the the retirement part for Etro. I mean, that was kind of the chance you took when you saw Etro in his sign up form. He had put that he had only he could possibly play, but not for a long time. I can't remember exactly what he put, but it was definitely like a risky pick to go with. And he's a great player, but that was kind of the risk you had to go with. And so when he's now gone, and now your team was already kind of in a bad spot, it doesn't really help you much. Doesn't really help you much at all, Stewie. And this Fargo team is definitely not a team that you want to not have Etro against.
Definitely. With Mal and Cloudy, what they bring to the board, but Zesterus in his debut stream series, what are we going to see from Zesterus? I don't know. It's it's a coming out party, definitely, for this new roster for Rochester, but you still have Ori and Derek, who bring a lot of talent, but how does Zesterus slot in? I don't know. Ori, a more defensive player. Derek, a player that likes to play the midfield, another defensive style. But Cloudy is the main offensive aggressor for the Steelhawks. So keying on Cloudy, making most of the offensive chances for them. But for Fargo, I didn't look at their record, but right now on the season, sitting, I believe, in the middle of the pack. Yeah, they're in 6th at 8-6 on the season. But Rochester dead last right now at 3-11. If you wanted to win one, this would be your chances. Zesterus gets his first on the board.
Yep, and I mean, it's an immediate response, and there's plenty of time left, but it's important for Rochester to get that tying goal quite early here, as Mal's gonna go missing. Shot from Zesterus over the defense, and the Rochester Rhythm take the lead here in game one.
Huge miss. Zesterus comes in, cleans it up, gets the shot clean right down the middle. And you cannot be making those mistakes if you are the Fargo Seahawks, because that was a free one, Brock, that they just gave to them pretty much. I mean, Zesterus What did he put to the back of the net? It ties the game at 2 apiece, and that's a big one because that's obviously a miss from Zesterus, and Ori just gets caught out on that miss and not expecting it. I believe Brock's internet may have just said goodbye to us. I don't know. I can't really tell. Are you back?
My mic wanted to start doing that weird noise singing again, so unplugged it, replugged it in, and my PC did not like that at all. Latency, dropping frames, things were frozen, but it's a wide open net for Bobslinger and Fargo to take back the lead.
Yeah. How does Rochester answer, though, to that happening? Giving up that one. Derek, though, goes missing. Has to find another one across the field. Black Cloudy on the receiving end, looking for 2 off the backboard. Doesn't choose to follow through with it. Good touch from Zesterus around 1. Looks for a dunk. Gets it across, and Cloudy doesn't have the best touch across. Is Derek gonna dunk him? It's gonna go all the way across the field, and Zesterus is there off the boost steal. Leaves it for Ori. Ori has a touch on the dunk. Bobslinger will win the 50, though, in a long clear downfield from Fargo. Great job clearing their line. They don't let Rochester get set up in their half, and that's really been the big thing. Rochester have had chances, but it's been on Fargo making the mistakes.
This is a really good setup from Derek. Zesterus could not get the shot to go their way, so it's going to go all the way back to the Rochester zone, and gonna miss it, but I think that's honestly better for Ori to take possession. But that's a big dunk from Bob. Bob Slinger, Bob the Huge Man. So many Bobs in the league, too many to keep track of.
That's right.
As Cloudy's gonna go missing there. Now in the corner, Bob Slinger again taking some 50s. Mal patiently waiting, goes to the backboard but finds Ari. Now Zesterus downfield. Cloudy looking to turn it back upfield. Cloudy over to the left side. Cannot get a follow-up touch. And now Mal will come in and send it as Derek and Ari, it just goes past both of them.
Hello, Rochester defense? Are we awake back there? Because I think Derek, Ari thought Derek was going to hit that, and Ari had nothing. Absolutely nothing. I thought Derek was going to hit it too. Confusion reigns supreme, but you got to wonder what would have happened if Rochester didn't give up that free one, because they have a good offensive chance here, but they don't get any, clean shot out of it, and mistakes galore for the Rhythm. Touch all the way in the midfield. Mal with a good follow-up. Gets a second one. Derek off the backboard, trying to find Zesterus, who's hanging out up there, and camped out, looking for a refreshment. But obviously down 2 in this game, gonna need more than a refreshment. Gonna need 2 goals in 6 seconds. It's likely not gonna happen, as Fargo will draw first blood and get 1 on the board and open the series up with a 1-0 advantage.
It was a pretty rough game there for Rochester. That, they're already down by 1, but in those last couple moments really made sure that one was done and dusted with. Fargo, taking game 1, we knew not having Etro would be, a big factor here, but there's obviously some clear mistakes that we saw during that game. But did you say Zesterus was champ 2?
Yeah. On I think that's what it said on the sign up, if I'm not mistaken.
Are we witnessing the best Champ 2 player to ever touch
More than
MCS?
Yes.
What is happening, Stewie?
The greatest Champ 2 player to ever touch MCS.
I think so.
I'm looking at the sign up right now. Yeah, Zestrous, right here. I'm looking at it right now. Champ 2, highest rank achieved in threes. I think that's threes. Last 3 seasons. I have no idea.
Well,
It's very possible it could be
wait.
be a another account, but
We love scoreboard not updating. That's a fun time.
gotta love it. Got to love it.
And it has.
And yeah, going into this second game,
Now the cameras
You
don't
know,
want to work. You know, this overlay's
I
been
mean, everything's
real
just dying.
buggy.
it is it's killing us today. Not having a good day, but you know, you're looking at obviously a clean chance for of course the rhythm to maybe get a win this season, get more than 3 wins, but you know, with them being down 1 game already, Fargo just looking to get, I believe, their 9th win on the season, if I'm not mistaken, because they lost that other one, so it's, you know, they're 8-6-ish, if I remember, Brock, but they're looking for their 9th win, and you talk about, you know, we're getting to the end of the season, this is where the games matter the most.
Yeah, it's really coming down to the wire where you're going to need to, you know, if you're in a rough spot, not in consideration for that top 8, you're going to need to win out and do well in that major as well, so that you can get yourself in that play-in tournament for a LAN. But it all starts here, and we've already seen, you know, some teams today come out here and lose, and, you know, some of those didn't matter, but I mean, eventually it is going to matter when you look down the line. So every win is important right here, no matter if it's a first place team versus a last place team. The amount of points that are being lost and gained, or not lost, I mean, just, I guess the loss of chance of grabbing points is huge, because you need those points so desperately. I mean, there's probably some teams right now that could win out and win the entire major, but still not make top 8. I mean,
Yeah.
I was looking at some of the standings, and that was definitely a possibility. So every point counts, and right now, I mean, game win doesn't really count for points like it used to. So you need to win the series, Stewie.
Yeah, you need to win the series to get all 5. Obviously, the overlay not being nice to us today, or with a free shot. It's the first on the board for Rochester, and that's a big one, because doesn't let the game get away. Cloudy looking for 2 off the backboard, just doesn't make contact on it, and you see what he's going for, trying to put the ball to the corner so Ori can't even get the follow-up to begin with. But that's the risk you take of trying to do that. If you miss, it's almost certainly a free goal, and it was.
Well, Stewie, I'm attempting to fix the overlay, and if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna give up.
Yeah, give up. That's what we do around here. If it doesn't work, we try once more, and then we just say,
Oh, I've tried maybe
good
more
try.
than once, unfortunately.
oh, I know. I know. I can about imagine. It's Esterus, though. That is solid.
Did you see the shot he had earlier, too? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's a solid follow-up. I mean, it's upright. Oh, a very solid placement on that. Able to get the second one for Rochester, up 2-0 now, and a minute 50. You know, like you talked about, you know, some teams with how big of a hole they are in, to even get top 8, they possibly would have to win the major, but how viable is it that you can win the major, you know, with how your season has gone so far? You have to completely turn your roster around, and that's just unlikely with how far the talent is spread out in some of these leagues with more of the teams.
Hot shot clips.
You're good. You're good.
It's Cloudy's
Don't worry
name.
about it.
It's throwing me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, of
Make
course
your
it
name
is.
shorter.
Why wouldn't it? Yeah, I agree. I don't even know how to spell that. I do. I'm looking at it. What am I
Oui.
saying? Oui. Frenchie. I love the French Rocket League player. He's not even he's not even French. His name is. I bet his name is like Jake or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever met Cloudy. Wasn't Cloudy late for the first? Yeah, Cloudy was late for the first game, if I'm not, or the first day of LAN in season 5, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't even make day 2.
I don't think he was late because he literally can't make day 1 of lands.
That's true.
Because it's on a Saturday.
But
If you don't save and fix, oh, it's somewhat working for the time being.
somewhat, it's willing
It's up there.
itself to work. Hey, it's there it is. W. 40 seconds left though for Rochester. They're 40 seconds away from a W. Trying to hang on as this series is obviously 1-0 for Fargo. And I'm gonna check that game score counter, Brock. I don't think that updated either. Of course it didn't.
All right, yep.
But huge save from Zestrous though on the back line and just gets enough on it. Cloudy with a good touch off the backboard. Ori though sitting, lying in wait for it. 14 seconds left. Ori's just keeping the pressure on. Has a free shot and fakes out Bobslinger. And 2-goal lead is back for Rochester's. I don't know how this one finds its way to the back of the net, but it does.
Well, he fakes the high touch, and Bob Slinger is like already pre-jumped, expecting a powerful touch. So just the presence on the ball there, making the defense shake and quiver. And that's a huge goal to go with a 1-goal lead into a 2. Now with only 7 seconds left, I mean, if you score here, maybe if Ari misses, which it somehow gets through, and there's 3 seconds left, so technically the Steelhawks are still in this one.
Great touch across, yeah, 3 seconds left. How likely is it, though, that they score with... I mean, we've seen it before, but 1 goal in 3 seconds, it is possible, but now when you lose the kickoff to Zestrous, who is going to put the ball in the back corner. Fargo has no boost. Ball's going to hit the ground. Rhythm. Have the touch. Down to the ground. And Zestrous, Tarek, and Ori going to get one on the board. And this will not be a sweep. So that's a good sign for them.
Yeah, I mean, pretty confident win there. I mean, even though Fargo scored with 3 seconds left, there was not really too much of a worry at the end of that game. And apparently everyone loves Derek. I do too. Players talking in the chat. I heard that chat noise like 20 times in like 5 seconds, so I kind of like lost track completely. We're in game 3 though, and Overlay did decide to update. And it seems like everything is fine currently.
All is well. All is well in the world.
H is
As
not
you
doing
say
its
that,
job.
just quit messing with it, Brock. Just leave it alone. Let it rest.
I fixed it now, but now the cameras. Wait, please don't tell me
They don't
camera.
show up, bro. They don't. They only show up on a goal.
Well, I know, but like now I'm worried that they're not going to show up on the goal. I'm seeing that like.
Well, we gotta see a goal first to even test your method here,
that
Brock.
guest icon has not done me well whenever I've seen it.
No, it has not. But nevertheless, a monster flick from Mori off the sidewall. Looking for another touch. Cloudy with a good clear, maybe to himself. Doesn't have the shot. Zestrous could read. Does Zestrous have another? Gonna follow, try and get by Mal, but Mal went early to hit the ball away. Ori, good first touch. Zestrous gonna tip it off the sidewall for him and give him ball possession, but Mal demos Derek, and that kind of relieves a little bit of pressure for Fargo, who, I mean, pace is just completely slowed down here in this series, Brock. It is, we are not exactly blistering right now. Both of these teams want ball possession as much as possible.
Yep, and Ari gonna see that open backboard, take it, but Mal gets a great touch, and you know, even if he did miss, Ari had I believe gotten bumped off that by either the ground or a different car. Cloudy from so far away from his own end somehow finds the shot bar down Stewie from there. I don't know how.
It's a monster clear, but it just sneaks its way in. 340. I mean, you still have plenty of time. I mean, if you're for Fargo, but regardless, honestly, Rochester just have to clean it up a little bit on some of these clears. Obviously, on their touches, they're going a little bit to the wayside, but they are finding each other very, very well. I mean, it's not like they're not passing the ball, but I guess you could say Fargo holding down the back line. Only going to go to the midfield. Zestris as a follow-up, but blocked out by Mal. Double commit from the Steelhawks, who trying to clear their line away. Cloudy with a good first touch all the way down the field. Does he catch him again? Zestris is last back and has to make a touch to the corner and does, but goes right to Mal. Bobslinger has a follow-up. Or can hit it away from Derek. And I mean, you see a lot of the errant touches Rochester are making. Gotta trust each other a little bit more. Zestris to the follow-up, doesn't even put it on target. Close to the ball. Good clear downfield. Zestris trying to find one more. Doesn't have any boost to follow up. Mal has a shot, but Ori's sitting in the way, and a big save from Rochester. Big miss from Cloudy, and Derek won't get out of his half just yet. Is Rochester kind of stuck in their half here, playing a little bit of defense, but I mean, they're down one.
And it's interesting when we see Rochester on offense, they're given, plenty of chances with free ball possession, as this one might be a free shot, as it's going to be saved up high. Mal jumping in front. Three players miss. Ari now going to touch it backwards. And now Zester is on going back on defense. And, Rochester, if they just stay grounded on some of these chances, they've been given so much time as Ari tries to pass it. Derek's off with the shot. And that was a prime moment for them to come back. They're getting, plenty of opportunities. And now Zester is backflips. And Derek can't get it out of the net. And unfortunately for Rochester, they will concede.
Yeah. Ori was backwards. Mal just clears it down the field. And another play where Rochester's just caught out on a mistake all the way down the field.
It's so painful.
I know. It's just such a small thing.
The chances are so there.
I know. It's
right in
so
front
many
of them.
mistakes from Fargo that they could be completely, bottlenecked from. I mean, right now Rochester should have at least two goals off of just pure mistakes that Fargo are giving them. Mal with a follow off the backboard gets the third.
And I mean, the confidence was already swung in the way of the Fargo Steelhawks, but that shot has given it a whole new meaning as 3 goals for the Steelhawks. You reacted to someone's
I love CTN's just complete another mood change. He said, I'm a Rhythm fan for the next 2 games, and then after Rhythm got scored on twice, he said, after 2 games, I'm a Steelhawks fan. He's just done with the...
What is this bandwagoning?
Completely. This is the
my.
definition of it. You'd see CTN's name under that dictionary definition. Rochester's just been stuck in their half. I mean, they have gotten plenty of chances, though, but Fargo has just escaped every single time, getting away with highway robbery.
It's mainly Rochester's fault, too. I mean, it's just them being gifted a free possession, and, we saw the one opportunity with the pass that wasn't connected, but it was all super rushed. Like, nothing needed to be rushed. And usually they do a good job about that, slowing down the ball. And in those moments, that's when you need to do it. Most importantly, as Derek makes a great save. In 50 seconds, you can play good defense, but you need to play good offense as well. And Mal is going to clear this one up towards Bobslinger, who can't connect. Derek now off of the wall. It's going to go back to Zestris, who gets denied by Bobslinger. Ori going to take a 50. Zestris now loses the 50 to Mal. It'll go back to Derek. There's only 5 seconds left, and I didn't realize the scoreboard broke again.
Just loves you, doesn't it? But
Yep.
3-0. The ball at 0 seconds. Mal off the backboard. Gonna drop it down. Steelhawks gonna take series point up 2-1 and looking for the win. But Rochester just... I mean, they had so many chances they just squandered away, and you just cannot have that happen. It's got to be better. It has to be better on the finishing end of things, because how many times do we see the Fargo Steelhawks completely double commit the shot, and not even neither of them make contact on it?
Yeah, I mean, Fargo, I mean, had some good offense towards the end of the game, but for Rochester to have 0 here is definitely a loss for them. They showed that, I mean, they had, they had X and Y together, but when they put the shot together, or tried to, take possession of the ball when they had just so many times where they had, so much time with the ball, and, it's just simple stuff like, jumping early or rushing your touch that makes it pretty much impossible to do, anything with that free ball touch. And that's exactly what happened. They messed up a lot, if not all, of the chances that they had in that game, and they were enough to probably at least tie the game there if they were accurate. So heading into this game, for you just got to execute. Comes down to that.
Big bump on the back line. Zesterus goes missing. He was chased already on the kickoff. Cloudy hits it around Ori. Cloudy gets another follow-up. Bob Singer was chasing a bump. Zesterus just goes missing off of not being in the right spot. 8 seconds. 1-0 lead for Fargo, who looked to just take complete advantage of Rochester, kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. But when Rochester have, when they put away shots, they've done well, but that's when they've put away shots, like we talked about. They've had so many offensive chances that have just completely gone by the wayside, or have nearly pinched into their own net, as Fargo nearly get a worldie from the midfield on a team pinch. Zesterus could flick off the backboard. Follow up for Ori is there, but Cloudy going to clear the line.
And it's dangerous right now, but Cloudy with limited boost just going to have to concede possession to Derek. He's going to go up the right wall. Gets one touch, but Bobslinger going to deny. This one's going to come up at the right wall as Ari tries to bump Mal out of the way. Ari does turn on this one as Derek's going to come in as first man. He goes missing. Ari does get a touch, but the follow-up isn't immediately there. Bobslinger tries to backflip into it, but does not connect. And now Zesterus with a big clear down. Cloudy the first one to it, looking for that sidewall touch, but not enough boost to get back to that one as it's back in the rhythm end again. And Bobslinger now going to take this over to the right wall. Going to beat out Ari as Cloudy goes up. He goes missing. Derek goes missing as well. It's a back pass. Ari does get a piece of it, but it still goes back to Mal, who's now going to go for the flip reset, denied by Zesterus. And finally, I mean, we might have... that was a bit scary on that back pass.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
I mean, we are just seeing Fargo control, every aspect of the game right now.
So with, obviously the addition of Zesterus to Rochester's roster, Q had to go into retirement on another matter that I do not know, but despite being a part of the franchise, I don't know the answer to that, but Zesterus was picked up as a result of Q's retirement. So if you're wondering about that.
Q and Etro, both of them?
Q and I believe it might have been Etro's, I don't remember, but...
Did they both retire? Is that what happened? I don't even...
Not exactly 100% sure.
It's a 3v1, Stewie.
Yeah, it's a 3v1. Surely they get this one. Ori, good drop-off pass from Derek. Just leaves it for him. Goes for the bump on Mal. Mal is left tail between his legs. Cannot do much about that. Trying to avoid Derek coming straight for him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, able to capitalize on that one, Brock. They don't let that one get away from them.
Yep, I mean, they had a 3v1. If they weren't able to execute on that one, I don't know what you needed to be gifted to score a goal there. I mean, it was a 3v1 and they executed. They score. Cloudy though with a good shot saved by Ari. And now Bobslinger off of the ceiling, can't really follow it up, so Derek off of the touch from Zesterus will try to advance it upfield, who gets kind of goomba'd by a Steelhawk player, and now Bobslinger downfield looking for Cloudy. They don't connect, but Bobslinger maybe following it up as Mal in the corner, no boost. Gets the bump on Ari, but Derek is going to get a touch. Steelhawks very, very jumpy right now, but that's a huge demo. They're very jumpy, but they're able to recover so fast that it doesn't really matter that they don't necessarily control the ball 100% of the time, as their ball movement right now is all over the place, and the
Yeah.
Rhythm have no clue what to do with it.
Yeah, neither of these teams really getting solid possession on the ball. Big miss from Bob Slinger. And speaking of Bob Slinger, Blasky, you could entertain the thought of, pulling out the power cord on his computer. That'd be not a terrible idea for if you would like the Rhythm to win. But no, I do not do that. So,
Good suggestion, Stewie.
it's just a suggestion, just an idea. I like my Rhythm, but I'm not willing to go to that extent. But regardless, I mean, obviously a 1-1 tie with, low time, 60 seconds left. Really a lot of just almost throwaway touches from the Steelhawks in this game, Brock. You talked about it a little bit. They're not getting very good solid touches on the ball. A lot of them just going straight to Rochester, who are keeping up some pressure now. Derek, it's a touch
That's a really
four. We're
good
looking for
touch.
a double off the backboard. Has a follow-up. Zestris was ready. Ori
Surely.
can follow up, but a double commit from the Fargo Steelhawks, who
Just so
clear the
far
line.
away.
Cloudy nearly catches Zestris out. 30 seconds. Cloudy off the backboard. Ori's awkward. He goes missing. Zestris covers, though, and will clear the line. Is Mal going to get a touch over Ori? And Ori and Rochester getting caught on a little
no.
bit. Bob Slinger doubles it off the backboard. Fargo is trying everything they can to lose this game.
And they just might here. It's bad. It's very bad. With 10 seconds left, Cloudy with a huge 50, but it's going to go back to Derek, who just rolls it on target, but 50 going to go to the right wall. Ari could decide to keep this up. He tries to hit Zestris over on the left side. Both players will miss, and we'll drop him to go into overtime. But wow, Rochester kicking themselves. Derek had that touch off the backboard earlier, and no one was there to follow it up. They were too far back, and now overtime commences in game number 4. Steelhawks are 1 goal away from getting that victory in game 4. Cloudy with a huge touch to the backboard. Zestris now going to put this one forward. Mal goes missing, so Cloudy is up next. Has limited time, though, and is going to lose possession, but Mal right behind him. That's the support that's the support you need if you want to be the winners of this overtime. Derek now, for this one, is going to put it over to the left, where Mal's kind of just waiting for him. Gets it past one. Does not get the best 50 on Zestris, though. And now Zestris going to get a touch. And he's really good at being, annoying on offense for the other team to deal with, as that was an opportunity, but Cloudy, very low boost. Could not get a shot there to threaten the defense at all, as now Rochester, they've got ball possession but no boost, as that's not the touch they were looking for. It's wide open, and Mal is going to score, and the Steelhawks take it in 4 and will defeat the Rochester Rhythm.
That is a tough one to lose. Oh boy. You didn't think the ball was going to bounce like that. It goes on the wayside. Rochester get the win. Able to put this one to bed in 4. And that's a tough one to lose. But Fargo, with how they played, Brock, they were doing everything they possibly could to lose this series.
Yeah.
And they somehow don't. But the amount of sheer mistakes that they made, and the amount of just sheer complete and utter bad touches on the ball, let alone double taps, I mean, or double commits, it's just honestly surprising that Rochester didn't score more than they did. But I don't think Fargo was necessarily throwing, but I think that they could have given up a lot more goals than they did if we saw Rochester just be a little bit more organized on offense.
Yeah, Rochester, I mean, we talked about it. They had, plenty of opportunities at the end of the day to get something done. Fortunately, they could not. And it's very painful that they had to go in that overtime in game number 4 and unfortunately lose, as they were so close to taking that game in regulation with about, I want to say, like 15 seconds left. Just had no support, and there was a very clear opportunity for someone to be there to shoot, and they couldn't capitalize on it. And yeah, we did swap screens too. We did.
Yeah, I completely. I just realized that it was on my phone. I was looking at it. I'm like, wait, we're on.
Wait,
stream.
we're on stream.
It's kind of
No.
goofy, but yeah, that'll end off the third series of the night. Obviously a 3-1 win for the Steelhawks. It's been all 3-1s, all 4-game sets, no 5 games, no sweeps. So that's the the good news. But the next one coming up next, the Jungle and the Senators. It's going to be a good one, Brock. Obviously you've got the Jungle, who are looking to regain a little bit on the season so far, have done very, very well. But
Yep.
I obviously know a player on their team, played with him quite a bit, know kind of how their season has gone. They have gone to a lot of game 5s. A lot of their series have been decided in 5-game sets. I believe 3 or 4 game 5
Are you talking about
overtimes.
the Des Moines Derecho Premier? That sounds.
Yeah, I'm talking about them too. Yeah,
That sounds like
including
us.
them in this question, 100%. But regardless,
Or any team that
they
I'm
have-
on, we always
they
go
have
to
had-
game
They
5.
could have, yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, they could have 2 or 3 more wins just off of game 5 luck. But yeah, they're gonna have a tough one. Obviously, the Jungle and the Senators right next to each other, same exact record, same exact game differential, Brock. So impossible for us to actually predict who's going to win the series, considering
Nope.
they're identical on paper.
Statistics.
10th and 11th
Nope.
seed, obviously.
Nope.
But
Wait, Jungle are 10th or 11th?
yeah, Jungle are 10th and Senators are 11th. So they both have 30 points. They're both 6 and 8. They're both -3 on game diff. And we're going to jump into a quick break. We'll have that series back for you in a very, 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 after a very, very short break. We'll be there. Don't worry. We're going to come back. But Jungle and Senators coming up next in just a moment.
And we'll be there when we'll be there.
What makes you an exception?
I was all alone. Then you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I saw you all alone. Your eyes match the weather, raining under pressure. Oh, you say you wanna go, yeah. So let's get away from here. Let's get away from here. Let's get away from here. Strangers found lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers found lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here.
Well, it could be possibly the most anticipated matchup of the night. The final one, the fourth
yep.
one, coming at you. I do not have my phone muted. Jesus, Martha. It scared the crap out of me. I was talking to
All right.
myself for a second. But regardless, we have got the 10th seed versus the 11th seed, the middle of the pack teams fighting to get into the top 8 to possibly get to, obviously, the major coming up next week. There's 2 weeks of that major, so you'll see a Swiss bracket for the first week and then the playoffs for the next. But regardless, these teams fighting to get a better slot in the major. Obviously, you know that you're going to want, Brock, a better seed, obviously, because it changes, it can change who you play right away. But if you don't know how Swiss works, you want to get to a certain amount of wins to qualify into that bracket. But Jungle and Senators coming up. Like I said about the Jungle, they've had a lot of game 5s this season. The Senators are no stranger to that. I was looking through their scoreline as well. And they have had a lot of game 5s as well. So I don't know who to go here, but I'm going to say that I predicted the Jungle to win. I'm going to predict the Jungle to win, and I honestly think it's going to be a sweep.
I like the Jungle in this one too. It'll be interesting to see what Jax brings to this team, considering we've casted this team before. But now with Jax, we've seen... wait, who is Joshua Dobbs?
I honestly can't tell you.
Wait. It's a player. A process of elimination. It's the Senators. Is it what?
Wasty, Edie, and Jax.
It's
That's what I
it
have.
must be Jax. Joshua Dobbs.
It must be
is
Jax.
It does make sense. What
I'm
is
so
going on?
confused right now. I couldn't tell you. I actually couldn't tell you what's going on right now.
Stewie, tickle yourself. That's what.
No, just no. You're gonna send them on your way. Joshua Dobbs is gonna have a field day here on the field, but I said the jungle were gonna win. I stick by my my prediction, but already St. Paul has the chance. Kranko's missing off the backboard. It's gonna hit the crossbar. Josh Dobbs misses. It's what in the world? Jungle completely panicked, but are not able to get that one. That was an interesting play.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much to talk about with that one, Stewie. Ball was sitting in front of the net. Everyone missed it like 3 times, and then Wasty put it in. So Senators up by 1 to start game number 1, and maybe another chance for Jax as Mr. Vikings quarterback QB1 Joshua Dobbs is gonna get it done here. Not how they did against the Bears, Stewie. I don't know how we lost to the Bears. How did we lose?
Four interceptions. That's just sad.
To Chicago?
That is just sad. Chicago to the Bears?
They should be throwing
to the
for
Bears?
a draft pick. What are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing? Josh Dobbs off the backboard. Follow up, Debu. Good block. Grant, good touch off the backboard. Does Josh Dobbs have this read? Grant goes right away, gets a dunk off the follow-up from Jonah, and good chance for Chicago trying to get one back, cut the lead in half, but with a 2-1 scoreline, it's going to be a shot from Grant that's just pile drives it to the back of the net, cuts the lead in half. Debu, a great pass across.
Yep, and it's just all the time in the world, and it's a great pass again from Debu. And Grant positioned well, and that's going to be the Jungle's first goal.
Booing Jungle scoring. Jesus, Martha. Oh, man.
Stewie doesn't even know who y'all are, apparently.
I don't.
Which is wild.
It's got to be.
He's hiding something from me. I don't know what it is, though.
It has got to be somebody. Is it somebody on like 40 different accounts? It's got to be. It has to be. But I honestly, with the two goal advantage taken away in the the blink of an eye, Chicago with a incredible string, 2 goals together back to back, able to tie up the game at 2 apiece. Wasty, good touch on the front side, but Grant has the turnaway touch, puts it in an awkward spot, and that's a great touch. It's not a clear from Chicago, but it's in a spot where St. Paul can't really do anything with it.
I wasn't muted, Stewie. That did not happen.
You were talking to no one.
No, well, no, like I was not able to unmute my mic.
I literally talked to myself for a solid 20 seconds before V15 tonight. Actually understood that I was muted. I was talking to myself, but Debu with a great read downfield gets the third on the board for Chicago, who are on a run right now.
Yeah, 3 straight. I mean, after that first goal, I was going to be surprised if they didn't find more, considering that we had favored Jungle to win this, from the start. And, I mean, the Senators kind of got gifted with that 1 goal. I mean, right away, they had 2 back-to-back goals. But all of a sudden, there's still 3 minutes left, and it's a 3-goal swing for the Jungle as Grant will take this one up in the air. 0 boost to work with. It'll go back to Jonah, who might have overcommitted. Bottom left it goes. Yeedy will tie us up with still 3 minutes remaining. 6 goals in 2 minutes.
I mean, this is a blazing fast start, but I was so confused because that was a 3, pretty much in a lapsed 3-on-1. That was the most confusing 3-on-1 I've ever. Jonah was like last back, but he didn't realize he was actually last back, which is odd because both of his teammates were on the other side of the field. But now you think about it, it's Chicago tying the game up. Grant over the top of one, doesn't get a reset though. Look at it go by Josh Dobbs, but quarterback for the Vikings ever so strong on the back line, the Pastronaut.
Except for when he checked in for the
Bears.
Well, I mean, yeah, that, and when he checked in against the Falcons when Jaren Hall went down, he took a safety. That was not a smart play,
but great save from Grant on the back line. Somehow denies that. That was a twisting and turning. Huge save from the jungle. Debu off the backboard. It gets a double commit from the somehow wins that.
How does it go that way?
The double commit from the Senators does go by the wayside, and Chicago had a chance there, but Debu winning that 50 is actually incredible to me. Josh Dobbs hits, just beats Jonah. Gets the goal for, of course, the Senators, and it's Jax, and he gets the fourth goal on the board, and 7 goals in this first game.
Yep. Touchdown Minnesota. I mean, it's funny because we've got, St. Paul close to Minneapolis, where, I don't even know where the Vikings play. Is it? It's somewhere in the cities.
It should be St. Paul. I'm pretty sure it's Minneapolis.
And then we've got the Chicago Bears, the Chicago Jungle. I mean, this is just like
it's just the perfect
Monday Night Football match. It's just happening now. And now, if St. Paul don't win this, we're gonna let Chicago win twice.
Yeah, we can't let that happen.
And there's Joshua Dobbs on the other. Like,
lead us to victory, Josh.
What is happening?
Lead us to victory. I want the Jungle to win, but lead us to victory, Josh Dobbs. Don't throw 4 picks. I mean, he's already thrown 3 so far, and it's 4-3. But yeah, this thing's sort of finally stabling out a bit, but all still in the half of the Senators. Jonah trying to play a reset. Grant off the backboard slams the ball, gets the bump on Yeedy off the backboard. Josh Dobbs gets a touch, but follow-up from Jonah has the shot, but Wasty's sitting in the way. Grant gonna collect with a ton of boost on the sidewall, but just gives it right to Wasty. Debu though, good touch, puts pressure, but there is Jax or Josh Dobbs gonna clear it away all the way down the field. Jonah gonna collect, gets over Yeedy, has the pass across to Debu, gets a fake, but 30 seconds left, and Debu demoed. It's not great, but Grant has a ball possession and a beat, but Wasty was last back and does get a touch.
Now, I think the overlay decided to die again. It's just showing Jack Stewie. With the, good timing for this being 30 seconds left, but nonetheless, there's 10 seconds left. I don't even know, but Jonah's gonna fall down on it, and Devo celebrating for his teammate there. The scoreboard literally isn't working, Stewie. I don't even know what the score is.
It's 4-4 actually.
That was to tie it.
That was to tie it. This is really
Windows
confusing.
11.
I blame Windows 11 too. Windows 11 sucks.
It doesn't like our overlay at all.
It is 4-4. Doesn't hit the ground. Grant all the way down the field. It's a 0-second, but Jonah can't get to it. Oh, an ever so large scare. Grant had a long clear downfield, but Jonah just couldn't get it. And that one would have been a win for the Jungle, but off the kickoff, Debu, good touch over the top. In overtime now, Chicago full possession. Grant has a touch over the top of Wasty, but Josh Dobbs with the touch to the corner. Complete miscommunication for the Senators, who are just squandering in their back half. They don't really want to do much, don't want to play Rocket League at the moment. Chicago completely in possession. Wasty doesn't get the best touch to demo from Jonah, but Debu didn't choose to commit, and now Grant's last back gets a touch forward. Yeedy has the clear down the field. Is Wasty there? He's not, and Debu got a little bit of a scare there. Chasing a bump is Wasty on the back line. St. Paul trying to win the game here off of a scare at 0 seconds.
Yep, and man, just no boost to work with Wasty though. From the right elbow, Yeedy comes in off of the backboard. Wasty does get a touch, but it'll be slowed down for Grant, who goes up the wall here with no boost. So Josh Dobbs gonna interrupted again. Jonah loses ball possession. Edie keeps it close, and it's just gonna drop below the defense, and somehow that ball goes in.
And that is a tough one. Debu, that's a tough one to give up. Unfortunate. But it is one game, though, only on the board, right? That was only game 1. So we're going to go into game number 2. And I don't know what's going to happen. Please don't put me on screen again, Brock. They're going to lose their minds.
I'm going to put you
Kill
on
me.
screen, Stewie.
Do not do it to me. No. No. We're going to Forbidden Temple, and we are going to... This game is over. It's 5-4 Senators. They're up 1.
They love you, Stewie.
Oh my God. Kill me.
You so much.
Kill me.
No, don't say that on stream, Stewie. Bad.
My fault. My fault. Don't do that. That's mean. That hurts. It's mean. But yeah. Think that
they want you to blink.
Blink. Oh my
Dude.
God. I don't even know what I did.
I need an
I
explanation.
don't know what I did.
What did you do?
I don't know. I don't know these people. I've never met them in my life.
That's what
I didn't even know they
say,
existed.
Stewie. That's what.
I don't even know.
Shun the
but-
non-believer.
Yeah. Brock, obviously we're going into the game number 2. I want the Jungle to win, but
Yeah.
the Jungle giving up 5 goals in that game, honestly, you're going to need to get, more than 5 if they're going to win, but they need to not give up 5 goals. That was the biggest thing. They gave up 5.
The cameras want to die again? Great. Stewie, I don't even know what even happened last game. I'm still kind of like recovering. That overtime shot might have been the worst overtime goal I've ever seen, but Yeedy in game number 2 off of the ceiling actually gets bumped, I think, at last second. Really good play from the Senators. Not so much on the, shot execution, but from the bump. Just 10 seconds in to take a lead here. And Senators with that steal in the game 1 overtime could be bad, but Grant is going to respond in game number 2 to tie us up at 1 apiece.
Indeed, and obviously, you're gonna want to look at possibly a change of scenery for the Jungle, who gave up 5, like I said, in that first game. You're going to need to, you don't want to give up 5 again, because when you give up 5, it's tough to win a game when you're giving up 5 goals, Brock. And I mean, just getting 1 on the board is huge. Grant gets another, and that's another well-placed shot, and just a great pass, though, from Wasty, who completely dimes them up. Debu, though, puts pressure on him, and that's what happened.
Yep, I mean, just the presence there on the demo attempt really makes it difficult to defend against, and both of these teams have done a good job of using that physicality aspect of Rocket League, where some may say it's cringe, but it's vital to winning as a team, as this one's going to be dangerous. Jonah and Debu come out for a pinch. Grant commits his 3rd man. Yeedy, breakaway, it's open, and it's not going to be the easiest ball to get towards net, though, as Jax has changed his name. I want it to go back to Josh Dobbs. I like the Viking quarterback versus, Chicago story, but... And then we had Debo Samuel. We just had all the football players in one lobby.
Debu Samuel, obviously Josh Dobbs, did everything, but retouch across from Jax, able to get 1 more. And the Senators able to tie the game up at 2 apiece, and that's a big one, because you don't let the game get away from you, but Jungle are kind of shooting themselves in the foot right now.
And 2-2. It's just been so back and forth with these two teams. Even in the last game, plentiful amount of goals within the first couple minutes. Last one, I mean, what was it? Was it 4-5 at the end of the game? And then I think it was somewhere along the lines of like 3-4 in at the beginning of the game. Only like 2 minutes in or something crazy like that. So a lot of goals are being scored. Defense just not there. it's kind of like the Vikings and the Bears, just not the defense, more so the offense. Just non-existent at all. But nonetheless, Grant in the corner. Zero Boost going to lose that 50, so this will open up a chance for the Senators. Wasty has time. He's going to pop that one up looking for Jax downfield, but Jonah's going to deny. And this one's going to be in a dangerous spot as Edie goes missing. Grant with a shot going to be blocked by Jax, and now Wasty going to carry this one forward. Might have lost possession. There comes Jonah. Very fast through the corner. Does lose control of it a little bit. Jax now underneath the ball. Passes it middle. Edie is going to be there in the midfield. The 1-2 punch from the Senators are going to get them the lead.
And obviously the Senators have done a good job of, not slowing down. They have really done a better job of keeping, the goal scoring up. But I think that Jungle really need to slow down that offense if they want to have a chance, because they're keeping up, but they're giving up more than they're getting out of it. So defense just needs to be a little bit more structured from the Jungle, clear the ball down the field. But St. Paul has done a good job of bringing the wrecking ball into this game.
Stewie, I'm just sidetracked on what's happening in chat. I might have to go moderator mode on these people. But Jonah, just such a good pass, and Yeedy covered that very well. It's just that was off by they were off by a third of a second, it seemed like, and then Wasty couldn't get a touch out into safety. So again, another defensive error that results into a goal. And with 2 minutes left, 6 goals again have already been scored. And with Wasty just missing the ball completely there, it's getting a bit dicey, but Debu doesn't really put a threatening touch on. But it does go out to Jonah, who tries to get another touch, as Grant's going to leave that one for Debu, as they're going to follow it up. Jax up, maybe trying to get the bump or a redirect, couldn't really tell. But nonetheless, Grant now up for the backboard. What a touch from Jonah to keep it in, but Yeedy has no boost and will try to make a play downfield. Can't really do much with no boost, but a lot of commits are happening, and it's going back and forth very fast here. And with a minute left, it's anyone's game. We're just waiting on that one defensive mistake, Stewie. I think that it's really going to decide how this game ends up playing out.
Indeed.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Obviously you're going to look at things from finally the Jungle able to pick things up, but they have had the more structured game. I think that if you are the Jungle, close this one out with 59 seconds, so this would be a big one to win. Obviously you're winning now. You've gotten the lead back, Brock, but could be better, definitely. But Jax's name keeps changing back to Joshua Dobbs.
Is it back to Joshua
It's
Dobbs?
so confusing. It's like his name is Josh Dobbs, and then the next second it's Jax. I'm sorry, it's one of those things. But
Well, I put it on the overlay as Joshua Dobbs. So actually, no, I didn't. I put it as Jax. So
that's funny. But
I kind of wish it was still
overall,
Josh Dobbs, but
yeah.
oh
You're looking at
no.
things from a perspective of 20 seconds left, and that nearly was a goal. But Debu touch across. Grant, good first touch. Will have to maybe follow it up again, but time given to the Senators. Jonah, though, big 50 win. Yeedy gets bumped by Jonah. Debu has a free shot here, but all on the side of the Senators. Grant gonna hit it out, and
Oh no.
Yeedy,
They've given them possession.
all possession, gets dunked by Debu, and Debu with a huge challenge gonna save the Jungle there on that.
No.
That got sketchy real quick off that touch.
Yeah, that's like worst case scenario for the Jungle. They had ball possession as a team throughout those last couple of seconds, but then at 0 seconds, the ball was still up, and Yeedy had put it on their car, and it was going to be a counterattack, but Debu with a really good challenge to immediately knock that one down before a flick or anything dangerous could start to happen against them. So fair play from the Jungle. It was a much needed game win, considering me personally, Stewie, I think they got robbed in that game 1, but not really robbed, but I mean, it was definitely questionable. But I think this game could have been the same way if we go and do another overtime, but that time it did not happen. So it's all equalized at 1 here, Stewie.
Yeah, definitely. And
I think the people want to see you.
yeah, and please, you're killing me.
That's what you asked. That's what you
You're
asked
losing.
for.
You're making me lose my mind here. I'm out of energy. But obviously, with the jungle going into this third game, evening up the series is a big one, because with the 1-1 tie, it makes sure that the jungle aren't down 2-0 and able to close that game out. So now that you look at this, the jungle have the momentum going into this third game. They have to make sure to put it away, because if they don't, it's not it's one really, Wolf, that they're gonna want back if they didn't close that game out. So making sure that they close games out is huge for Chicago, because like I said, they've lost so many games in game 5s.
Yep. And it's unfortunately starting to creep toward, that mark. It's game 3 here, and if you're the jungle here, definitely gotta win this game to give yourself some separation, because this definitely could have been 2-0 jungle right here. But unfortunately it wasn't, as Debu up to the backboard gets the bump. Grant's gonna go missing. Jonah low shot though. That's such a good setup from Debu though for the jungle. Pops it up into the air, gets a touch and the bump onto Jax. Grant goes missing. Jonah shoots it low. It's almost impossible to read for the St. Paul Senators. I don't even know if that's savable. That looked like an RLCS team, Stewie.
Definitely. And obviously you're looking at a great play there from the what am I saying? Obviously from the jungle, but that is not a great play from the jungle. Unfortunately, doesn't bounce their way. Debu gets dunked by Wasty, and Grant just wasn't in a good spot to touch it, and Owen goes let off the crossbar, unfortunately. But it's back to 1-1, and it doesn't take a lot of time. But if you're the jungle, you can't be giving up free ones like that to St. Paul.
I mean, we've seen. Don't be another goal. There's way too many goals that happen, Stewie. I mean, what are these goal totals? I mean, we're looking at over almost like 15 shots in 2 games, or 15 goals in 2 games. I don't even know what's happening. And there's already 2 here within the first 90 seconds of play, as Wasty's gonna go off of the backboard awkwardly, as Jonah now does not make contact with it. Wasty had an open net but couldn't get the first touch to go their way. That's an incredible pinch from Debu to put that one out of harm's way. And another good 50 to stall for his teammate who got demoed. But then, I can't even keep up with the demos, Stewie. They happen within, 2 demos happened within like a second of each other. And now, into the corner it will go. Grant off of the ceiling. Jax will have none of it. And Jonah will pop this one up. It's a double commit for the Senators. Jax does get a much needed touch to keep them on offense, as that one gonna be just off the mark. Edie staying in the play, gets 1 touch, but it'll go straight to the jungle. But there's some confidence in the Senators team. We're seeing them, stay on offense quite a bit, as there's a miss that comes out. Jax now over to the left wall, gets another touch. Jonah, low boost, might have just conceded possession. Yeedy and Wasty though, double commit, as this one's in free net. If Jonah can get there, it's a pre-jump save attempt from Jax, but it's not going to be enough. Jonah will score, and overlay, we love when you break. I don't even know what the score is. 2-1. There you go.
It is 2-1. But yeah, it's obviously the jungle now on top, but you're thinking about what the Senators have to do to get, to actually score a goal, because I mean, obviously the jungle gave them one for free, and the jungle hopefully not gonna do that again. And St. Paul's offense has kind of stalled out a little bit. They haven't had the best of touches, and Jungle have only gotten better as the series has gone on. Now with a 2-1 lead, what can we see out from Chicago? Or on offense, but they aren't able to get anything just yet. Demo comes out from onto Jax, onto Josh Dobbs, but his name has finally changed back. And hopefully he can turn his team around as he's got a touch across. Gets a double off the backboard maybe. Debu though, good read. Grant's in an awkward spot. Followed from Yeedy and Wasty who double commit and don't get anything out of it.
And I mean, we've seen quite a bit of those double commits start to happen. They've kind of been going on throughout the entire series, and I think more so for the Senators, and hasn't really punished them just yet. Seems like they'll have a moment when they've got the ball, they'll double commit, but then they'll have a really good touch on the ball that'll keep them back into the offensive zone. And it's like little touches like those. The 50 doesn't, go that well, as Wasty is going to lose possession off of the right wall. But they're able to keep themselves on offense even when they do make mistakes, as Grant is a bit awkward there on the ball. Wasty now gonna let Jax shoot this one from the corner, as the Jungle are very low, it seemed like, but Jonah comes flying in with a good pinch over to Yeedy, who's gonna find Jax. Grant now into the corner, gets a 50 that goes back to Debu, and it's to Wasty, and it's just got past him. Is it in? It is. Into the bottom right corner with 15 seconds left. The Senators have tied it, Stewie.
Yeah, and obviously the Senators, I mean, it's just the Jungle just giving up some simple small things that you don't want them giving up, obviously, because I mean, you can just see the heads in their heads in their hands, and it's just simple mistakes that are just killing them right now. But overall, Senators able to tie up the game. Grant, 0 seconds left, gets dunked by Wasty. Debu in an awkward spot. Wasty though goes missing off the backboard. Touches gonna be in the midfield, obviously, but was looking for it. But now you're looking at an overtime here, and it's really anyone's game with the Senators evening up the game with late. It's overtime, and it's anyone's chance to take it away. Grant has a shot, gets a dunk, but in the midfield, Jonah looking for one more. Has a flip reset, has a lot of boost to work with, but can't get across that front of the box. And good defense from St. Paul. They're going to hang on for now.
I mean, that's very scary to see Jonah in a position like that with so much boost to work with, because we know he can hit those. They had decent defense there to deny him. Just didn't have enough time to get that flip reset, as Wasty and Edie are colliding with each other, but somehow they're getting the ball forward here. And now Jax with the dribble. Here comes the bump. Jax dribbling through the defense. It's middle, but Debu does get a touch out into some sort of security blanket as Jax goes for the sidewall read, as Grant was ready to deny him. If he were to put that through, Jonah with the big dunk. Yeedy got a retreat, Debu up in the air. Big shot, top right, saved by Yeedy off the post. Follow-up shot from Grant's going to be off, and Jax will touch this one off the left wall, as the 50's going to come out. Wasty over to the right side, as Debu will beat Jax there. Makes it panic a little bit, and now Grant with the shot over the left side. Wasty goes missing. It's complete chaos here in Game 3. This is such a crucial win for any team in this game number 3, and Grant will score for the Jungle and give them a 2-1 lead.
Great demo by Jonah. Debu gets the touch. Oh no! Josh Dobbs goes missing. Grant gets the follow-up. Gives the lead back to the Jungle in the series. 2-1 up now. And they're one game away from a win in 4. They're well on their way though. They look good. I mean, despite the overtime, they kind of tossed away the lead, obviously, with low time remaining, Brock, in that game. But
yeah.
Now you're looking at, I mean, St. Paul just keeps coming back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like these have been the longest 3 games ever. Have they all gone to overtime, Stewie?
Oh,
well, even if they haven't, they've put up 8-9 goals in the game that they didn't. So it really doesn't help the cause at all. But man, I mean, we were, in for a good series. We kind of always just say that for the teams, but this is actually turning out to be quite a very entertaining series. The Jungle 2-1 up right now. If I had to guess, they'd win it in 5, just because of Chicago and Josh Dobbs' history with Chicago as a Viking. So I'm expecting to go there. And this overlay is all over the place, Stewie.
It is not like us tonight. I don't know.
What is even happening?
I don't know if it's your instance or Rocket League just isn't good tonight or something. I have no idea, but...
And it's different things every time.
Yeah, it's different problems that we're running into, but we work through it. We get through the night, and we get to the end. But Chicago trying to end off the night on a win, but big mistake from Jonah, though, able to clean it up, get the touch, and a touch across. Grant gonna put pressure again on the St. Paul, who have had to play a ton of defense here. Good shot from Deepu, and Yeedy can't make the save, and that's a strong follow-up to the back of the net. And Jonah just leaves it. Jax just hits it for him.
And it's not a good touch from that corner. And luckily for the Jungle, Deepu doesn't get bumped off of that ball from Wasty. If he waits, half a second longer to go for the ball, he's going to get bumped by Wasty. But the timing was just so perfect. And then the shot, of course, was just perfectly, maybe not placed, but the power. I mean, if you have power on the shot, you don't really have to worry about the placement on the shot most of the time. As Deepu going to do more work here, drops it down, but Grant's going to get bumped from behind. The Senators making it real difficult after that first goal to try to extend their lead, and now Jonah off of the left wall does get back to it, but that might have been good. What is this control that we're seeing?
Still going.
It's denied by Wasty, but I mean, it's not even a goal, but can that be play of the game? I don't even know what that was.
I don't know. He like backflipped and then caught the ball on his backflip, drove up the sidewall, got full possession, and nearly walked through the defense, but Grant, good first touch. Full possession, great play from Grant on the challenge, gets over one, leaves it for Deepu on the follow-up, and Chicago have done a great job of leaving the ball for each other, getting solo plays to the backboard, working through that, and tough so far for St. Paul to deal with. Good spacing from Chicago too. They're not double committing, they're getting easy touches on the ball. Open net, Deepu gets his second, extends the lead for the Jungle.
It's a big 50 from Grant, and a really good touch from Deepu, who gets it past Yeedy there. And Jack's not back for the save in time. Just very well played from the Jungle here. And it feels like, man, it's the... I guess in game 1 we saw the Senators have a 2-0 lead, but ever since then, we didn't see that much of a difference since then. So now the Jungle are up by 2. Grant wins a huge 50, but Wasty does get a piece of it and makes it awkward for the Jungle to re-enter on offense, but that 50 does go well for them. Yeedy over to the left side, gonna try to follow it up. It's gonna give them the time. Holy power on that one, as Jonah also gets quite a lot of power on it, as well as Jonah and Grant do double commit. Yeedy, though, with a good shot saved by Deepu. Wasting out double commit again for the Senators. Yeedy goes missing, and now Deepu slowing it down. This is what we talked about. Oh my goodness, Stewie. And the bump. Who are we playing? Rising Star, get this man an RLCS. I don't know what we're doing.
Oh man. Oh boy. Looking like Vatira out there for a second. Deepu. Like Debutira, but Grant monster cleared down the field. Deepu redirect, he fakes it out, it hits the crossbar. Grant flip reset double looking for it. 2-0 lead, a minute 40 to go. Josh Dobbs, quarterback of the Vikings, trying to maintain a drive to cut the lead in half, but he can't do anything against Chicago, who right now more like the Chicago Bears are shutting down the St. Paul Senators. 2-0 advantage. Grant gets dunked by Wasty, but he got enough on it. And Chicago look really, really good in this series so far, Wolf. I mean, overall, they picked it up from that first game. Didn't let things get, too out of hand. Great in and out save from Debu. And the boost steal from Jonah. Chicago playing perfect.
I mean,
they both did.
It doesn't matter, if they make mistakes. It seems like both teams have had double committing issues like the entire series, but more so the Jungle. I think their ability to rebound and get back onto offense, and the quality that we're seeing from them does not make them look like the 10th team in Rising Star or the 11th. But maybe that does. It was a wide open net, and they do go missing, which could come to haunt them, but not really right now. 30 seconds left. Grant redeems himself, puts it into the back of the net. The Jungle look like they've just wrapped this one up in Game 4, Stewie. And if this goes through, all Game 4s on the night.
Absolute destruction from the Chicago Jungle. Wrapping this one up in possibly 4 with 30 seconds left. Off the kickoff. Wasty not the best touch into the corner. Jax with a good touch. Leave it for Grant. Midfield, it's all but over.
It's all but
My
Jover.
prediction's going to reign true. I wanted the Jungle to win. They're going to more than likely take it home. With 12 seconds left, Grant and Yeedy going to demo each other. The ball just going to roll. Love it. Great timing.
5 seconds left.
This has been a mess, but it's been a mess, but we still live through it. Chicago going to win this series in 4. They take it home and send the Senators.
I don't like Justin Fields. I don't like DJ Moore. I don't like Chicago.
Like Chicago.
You're an exception because you're here in the Midwest Championship Series. But, I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really matter. That was some crazy gameplay. That was some. My God. I feel like that's some peak Rising Star gameplay. I mean, there were just some opportunities from Debu that, just every single time he had the ball, it seemed like he'd get, an outplay on 1 or 2, but then he'd not only go for the bump, he'd successfully get the bump, Stewie, and put his team in a very strong spot to score. So, that was quite a performance from the Chicago Jungle.
Indeed. Nice, solid victory from them. I don't remember if I predicted a sweep or not. I think I said it would just be a Jungle win.
You said sweep. I remember.
Did I? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, regardless, it's one game. Blah, blah, blah. Senators get one. But still, St. Paul gave them quite a scare. I was impressed with how all 3 St. Paul players played. Just a couple errant misses really got them in the important crunch times. And you can't be missing the ball when it's the most important touch on the field. There are, everybody makes mistakes, but honestly, it's really where and when you make those mistakes that can, really determine who wins the series. But Wolf, it was our final series of the night. All 4 are complete, and they were all decided in 4 games. And I don't know if we have ever had this before.
It's very unique how 4 games all end in Game 4, 44-4. Well, I don't know, Stu.
4-4-4. Yeah.
To start off the day, we had the Knights take down the Buffalo in 4 games. No way, right? Crazy.
The victory beating the Alice in 4 games.
In 4.
The rhythm of the Steelhawks. The Steelhawks taking down the rhythm.
It went to 4.
Guess what? It went to 4. And then guess what, guys? The Jungle just beat the Senators in 4. So, yeah, we got to 4 beautiful games every single time. And that caps off our night and ends us off. We, if you don't have anything else to say, Brock, I think we're ready to, say goodbye and go to Challenger tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Gonna be excited to see the little bit of a step up in gameplay, but it's gonna be difficult to do that considering how we saw Debu and the Jungle play just in that previous match. How do you even top that? He's taking possession. He's outplaying his opponents. He's getting demos, air dribble bumps. How are you in Rising Star? What happened from week 1 until now that we have not seen you do to this point to put you up in Challenger. But I don't know. Just an incredible performance from the jungle. And yeah, like Stewie said, we'll see you guys tomorrow night for MCS Challenger gameplay. Of course, I mean, I'd argue that Challenger's the best league. Premier's pretty free. Rising Star's probably second, and Premier's probably third. But that's all for us tonight. You guys have a good one. Good night.